Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there. It's supposed to unmute after that countdown, but it didn't. So, okay, J-Man here in the Phantom Zone. How's it going, everybody? Arkham, what's going on? Zack Snyder fanboy, what's up? We're going to be talking today, amongst other things, we're going to talk a little bit about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. The not to be confused with the Trash Revelations show. This one is different. This one's the CGI one, so I don't know what we're going to call it. It is technically called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and the other one is called Masters of the Universe Revelations. So I'll just say He-Man versus Revelations, just to talk about it. I'm going to show everybody really quick. There was a toy show today. I only got a couple of things because I couldn't stay there very long. Sean is on. Sean is waiting in the background. I was going to try to show this before Sean got on because then he'd get all pissed off at me, but I had to buy a Funko Pop, which is Melina. I wasn't going to buy them because I hate buying these at toy shows, because when you go to these toy shows, I would say 20% of the toy show is this crap. And even though I'm okay about buying Funko Pops, I seriously do not want to pay to go to a toy show where 20 to 25% of the tables are selling this crap, which I could literally buy anywhere, including EB Games exclusive. But I love Melina like a lot, and I just couldn't resist. And I was wearing my WandaVision shirt today, so I thought, why not? Let's get it all. This is the mini series, the first 4 issues of the first mini series, and this is the 12 issue, I guess maxi series or whatever. It does it say? Yeah, it just says limited series. Now I did have I had some of these already from when I was, I don't know, a kid or however old I was when they were coming out. But I started late. Like I started on number 7. So it's like I had 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 or something like that. But this guy's collection is just in awesome condition. So I basically made him an offer he couldn't refuse. He wanted 170. I got it for 140 for the whole thing. So that's Canadian. So that's like $5 American for you guys in the States. So that's a pretty darn good deal. I got that. And through my travels at Walmart, I got Wanda. So I already had the White Vision, which is the one I really wanted. And I actually was able to get Wanda for regular price, not eBay pricing where it's like super duper expensive and shipping's like $25 or whatever. So I just got her like literally at Walmart. So pretty good. All right. So that's all I got for today. I was very fast. Sean did not come with me today to the toy show, and I actually ended up going super late to it because I had a lot of stuff to do. For some I had some personal stuff I had to take care of this morning, so I ended up going closer to when it was ending. But okay, so Arkham, that looks awesome for sure. J-Man, how did yesterday spell? How did I celebrate Batman Day? I didn't do anything specific. I literally changed my wallpaper to Batman Begins. I guess that was what I guess that's what I did. But that's pretty much it. What did you do? Tell me in the comments what you did. Okay, so let's get Steven in and let's get Sean in. Make this view better. How's it going, guys?
Hey. So that's an awesome Melina Funko Pop. I really like that one. It's cool.
Yeah, I never saw
that. No, I never saw it. The problem is that I've stopped paying attention to Funko Pops because they just literally are in my face all the time.
I know.
I just literally walk past them now. I don't even it doesn't even register that they're there.
Well, it's funny because so Sean and I go to, this is the show that we always go to. There's a Burlington one and then there's a Mississauga one. The Mississauga one is in November. There's a comic book one and a toy one. Next weekend, there's a free toy show at basically the Oakville Legion. So I'm going to go to it because it's free. So, I mean, whatever. But I don't know. The thing is, you go to these shows and you pay your $5 or whatever to go in, and literally, I mean, I'm telling you, it's like 20-25% easy Funko Pop tables only.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what. Look, I have nothing against them. I know Sean doesn't like them. I know people don't like them. That's fine. But it doesn't matter if I like it or not. What I'm wondering is that what is the audience for this at this show? I'm not talking about you go to some sort of huge San Diego Comic-Con or some crazy shit like that. This show is basically marketed as like an 80s nerd toy show. Like Ninja Turtles, it's like would be the newer things that you'd be looking at. I mean, this is like the stuff that we all like, right? So it's going to be like all the 80s TV shows, movies, all the obvious toy lines, He-Man, whatever, G.I. Joe, Transformers. They actually have a separate Transformers show that's only Transformers, and they of course have a Star Wars show which is only Star Wars. But like, who's buying these Funko Pops? And I didn't even look at them. I literally just passed by and don't even look. I don't know what happened. I turned, and I saw Melina. I was like, oh shit, Melina. I'm like, oh man, I don't have any Mortal Kombat ones. I'm like, oh, I love Melina. I'm like, she looks awesome. Like, I'll just get it. It was 15 Canadian, so that's like $8 American or something.
Like, those tables are never really crowded. And the thing though is, like, to answer your question, I would think that they have stuff that you can't really get in stores, or like they're scarce, or maybe sold out online, perhaps.
Possible.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I've never seen Melina anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I remember looking for some Mortal Kombat ones before when the new movie had come out, and they look okay, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel like Scorpion. Like, it just didn't, But they did Melina of that version, but she sucked. Like, in the movie, she was okay, but she's supposed to be a clone of Katana.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's not Katana, right? Like, they gender swapped her, or not gender, they race swapped her. It's like, really? But that doesn't make sense in the story unless you race swap them both. And Katana is definitely going to be, Asian or whatever, right? Anyway, whatever. She still looked cool in the movie, and I like Sai as a weapon.
Yeah. I'm gonna live up to my reputation here and say, like, fuck Batman Day, because it's not a real day. It's not a real day. They just made up a day to coincide with one of the Comic Cons, like way back when in the 90s or something like that. The real Batman Day, Arkham, you gotta know this. What's the real Batman Day? March 30th. That's when officially, according to Copyright Registrar, that's when Batman was officially released to the public, the first appearance. So that would be his official birth. Not this crappy made up, like, marketed bullshit day. That's not the real Batman. It doesn't even coincide with a milestone or anything. That's not his birth. So what's the point of this? It's so stupid. Everyone's like, oh, Batman Day. It's like, you guys have to go with it. It's like that May the 4th be with you. Like, May the 4th is not...
That irritates me too.
Yeah, that's not a Star Wars day. That's not the first time Star Wars was released to theaters. It's just a pun. So now it's a Star Wars day. It's not, though. It's bullshit. People should start, like, celebrating the actual births of these things, not like the marketed bullshit date that, like, DC gives you.
I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you. So, like, literally the Batman Day thing, like, you see it on Twitter and stuff. Because
but why wouldn't they do that for the proper day?
Yeah, like, I don't understand what that day. Like, I don't understand what the meaning of the day is.
There's
like,
no
I understand the May the 4th because it is the pun. So I understand where someone came up with that as a thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't understand why the Batman Day is the weird day. So like random. That I don't understand. Yeah. But they were playing some of the Batman movies, and I was in a fight over. I was fighting with somebody. Plus, every day's Batman Day for me. Like, I read Batman '89 just the other day. Anyway, so it's like
Batman Day.
It's like Arkham. Every day's Batman Day for you, right? So I mean, it doesn't mean anything to me anymore. But I was in a fight with someone over Harvey Dent back in '89. Were people angry that Harvey Dent was race swapped in '89?
It was Billy D.
And it was like, and I'm like, I don't know, because I was too young to really understand what the general public was thinking about that. I didn't even know that Harvey Dent is I know who Two-Face is.
Yeah. I
didn't know that Harvey Dent was Two-Face. And Steve even was saying you didn't know Bane was a thing. So when that movie came out, I know Two-Face. Like, I knew Two-Face and the coin and all that, but I didn't know that was Two-Face. Like, I didn't piece it together that Harvey Dent, and I don't even know if I knew the name Harvey Dent was Two-Face. To me, it's like I didn't know Oswald Cobblepot was Penguin. Like, I just know the name of the villain. The heroes we all knew because we just, you just knew those names. I don't know why you knew those names. But Sean, did you know, because you really like Two-Face, did you know Harvey Dent in that time? Did you know that the name Harvey Dent was Two-Face?
I knew that, but like I didn't, I wasn't mad. Well, we were kids, right? I don't know if adults were mad about the whole
right. I don't know if they were mad. That's what we're trying
like think of it as a race swap. It's Billy D. Williams. Like he was a known guy. He was a known actor, and he was like back as far as I was concerned. Because I feel like there was a hiatus of like popularity for him after Return of the Jedi. But it's like I just trusted because I knew everyone was mad about Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne.
I remember that for sure.
So I trusted that there was a vision for I trusted there was a vision for Billy D. Williams as Two-Face, and they never got to it. So yeah. He probably would be a better Two-Face than what we got. But
that's not to the actors thing, that's to Joel Schumacher's. But okay, so hold on. Arkham, so you did all this stuff on Batman Day. Now, what else? This is what you do every day. Like this is not Batman Day. Like you asked me, what did I do anything special for Batman Day? Nothing. I changed my wallpaper to Batman Begins on my laptop not because of Batman Day, because I just happened to change it to that, and it happened to correspond because Steve and I were talking about. Well, we were talking about it before, and then when I did my master's video, I talked about Batman Begins. And like, do I like Batman Begins so much more because of the kind of the failures of Batman and Robin? And I thought, oh yeah, I like Batman Begins. And we were at Steve's place not too long ago, and Steve's got the official one sheet 2740 Batman Begins poster. And I thought, oh, I always liked that poster. And I thought I should change my background to that. But it just so happened to coincide with the fake Batman Day that we're celebrating. So I didn't do anything special for Batman Day, but I literally I read Batman 89. I read comics all the time anyways.
I thought I for a second there I thought maybe this is Batman Day because of that Make-A-Wish kid. Remember that kid that
oh yes, who went around being Batman,
went on a Batman adventure in a whole city, got involved.
That was awesome.
That was in November 15th. So
okay,
so no, it's just a made up bullshit day. Why wouldn't it just be the day that he was born? Like that
I don't know.
Just make it that day.
I don't know.
Nothing else is happening on March 30th. Like,
yeah, it's so easy to just get people behind something with no research now.
I know. But
I wonder, where did it come from? Like May the 4th is dumb, but I see where somebody online somewhere said, "Hey, it's May the 4th," and then they thought that would be cool, and then they thought that was funny, and then they just made that Star Wars Day, even though it has nothing to do with anything at all.
No, they used it as a marketing ploy for one of the Comic Cons in the 90s or something. They just heralded it. This is Batman Day to coincide with that Comic Con or whatever.
Okay. Well, my comic shop is called Gotham Central, so every time I go there, it'll be Batman Day Tuesday. Tuesday will be Batman Day when I go pick up the detective, Batman the detective, and I don't know what else is coming out. There's I went to digital on most of it now, so it just comes to my iPad and I just read it when I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get to He-Man, any other, like, did we see the trailers for Hawkeye? Did we all see the Hawkeye trailer?
Yeah, I saw it.
I mean, we can piss on it if you want to. I look, it's Hawkeye, so I'm kind of excited to see it because it's Hawkeye, and I'm just I'm terrible. I'm just a tool. I'm like, it's Hawkeye.
You're a mark. You're a Hawkeye.
I'm a mark. I'm like, I watched it about 2 or 3 times. Like, oh, it's Hawkeye shooting bows and arrows. I'm like, I don't know. Kate Bishop, I suppose, is one of the ones that didn't annoy me. Like in comics, I mean.
Right.
For whatever reason, occasionally some of these bullshit characters don't annoy me. And the fact that she looks, is it just me or does she look better than Hawkeye? Like she looks like Kate Bishop in this trailer looks like Kate Bishop in the comic.
Yeah,
which is more than I could say for Hawkeye because
it's translatable though. It's just a bunch of gear and shit.
It's just gear stuff, but whatever. I know, and she was done in the more realistic sense. Hey, Suscast, what's going on? I loved your. Did you see Suscast's comment on my Revelations? So not my Revelations, my He-Man video. So I made this He-Man video. Shit, it's got tons of views and tons of comments and a lot of likes, and I got a lot of big long ass likes and comments, and I'm responding to people. I thought I was gonna get destroyed over. I was like, oh, here we go. I'm gonna get killed over this thing.
Yeah, it's a cool show.
Only one guy said I like Revelations, and it's funny too because the one guy who said I like Revelations, that was his one line.
Yeah,
and everyone else wrote these paragraphs of how excited they are. And this one guy's like, "Oh, my kid started running around the house saying I've got the power and running around."
That's the point.
And I'm like, "Oh my god!" So, anyways, and then Suscast is like, "Yeah, what if is lame?" And I'm like, "What is he talking about?" And I remember then I rewatched my own video because I don't know what, and I had said, "Oh, what if?" I think I said, "What if was lame" or something like that. So I appreciate that. That was funny. The trailer looks intriguing. Hawkeye, yeah. I mean, we're gonna watch it. Obviously, I like Hawkeye. Hawkeye's in my top 5 Marvel characters, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, he's one of the ones that survived like childhood. I always thought he just looked the coolest. Look, as a kid, you go by who looks cool. I like archery. I always wanted to do archery. In high school, we tried to do archery, and they never had. I still haven't done archery ever. I should just go do it now that I'm older and I've got money to spend on this. But I always like Green Arrow. I like Hawkeye. I like Robin Hood. I like all the archery people. And Hawkeye just looked the coolest. I liked West Coast Avengers. He was the leader. I played him in the arcade game of thing. That's how it was like I wasn't going into the depths of Clint Barton and is this a character that I think is a great, noble character. I don't care. It's like my favorites are Hulk, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. That's your top 5 favorite ones. Hulk. Or I said Hulk because it's like the cartoon and TV series, Spider-Man because he just looks cool in the cartoon series, Linda Carter action, Batman live action series, Superman movies, cartoon Super Friends. Like there's not an investigation into why does Jason, or J-Man, why does J-Man like these characters? Like, because Spider-Man was everywhere and that's who I like. So you look at him and you're like, Hawkeye looks cool. That was my literal reason for liking Hawkeye. And then I just read West Coast Avengers. I don't even know what his character is.
He's a bit
of a womanizer. I know his hearing is off, right?
Yeah, I didn't like him because he was I always thought he was a villain because
he was in the very beginning.
I had the Viewmaster for I think it was Iron Man, and he teams up with Black Widow, and they're both villains in that Viewmaster thing. I think it's like rehashing a very old story, right?
Yeah, it's Swordsmaster or whatever it's called, Swordsman. Yeah. What's the guy's name? Swordsman who trained
Swordsman, yeah. And also in the early days of Avengers, he would always make fun of Captain America and stuff. So I was like, he did. This guy, right?
He did. But he looked cooler to me. I'm like, Hawkeye looks awesome. And then so the problem is that now we get remember I've been shafted more than anybody, right? Mm-hmm. It's like the second these Avengers movies started, it's like, oh, it's going to be the Ultimates Hawkeye. Really, the worst. Like everyone got their Silver Age sort of treatment, and then Hawkeye got this. Hawkeye and Nick Fury got this Ultimates treatment, and I'm like, really, the coolest looking guy for me was Hawkeye, and now he's a trash. He's not a trash character, but he looks shit, right? They gave him some purple. Just give him the purple. Like the mask is cool. Make it look, and they could have made it functional. Like they could have made it where it was like a
targeting system or something.
I don't know. Like for Christ's sake. So, anyways, now we got this show coming out. Kate Bishop. She looks kind of like Kate Bishop. When Kate Bishop came out, I wasn't as pissed off at her because Hawkeye at this point had been now transformed in comics into the Ultimates Hawkeye. So now Ultimates Hawkeye is normal Hawkeye. So he instantaneously became less interesting because I was mostly interested in him when he looked cool. That's what I'm saying. I never read any Hawkeye comics outside of West Coast. So to me, he was the leader and made decisions and he was a sharpshooter. I didn't think too much about who is this character. It's not like an Incredible Hulk where you're reading Peter David and you're like, okay, he's getting into this whole thing of, Banner doesn't want to transform and it's like this big thing. I never thought of any of that with Hawkeye. I just thought he looked cool. So once you took the costume away, I'm like, So I never read any of the newer series of Hawkeye, right? But Kate Bishop came in. I thought, yeah, well, we'll try her out. And she's okay. So I'm kind of okay. Like, what'd you guys think of the trailer?
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Like, you can take a shit on it. I don't care. I'm just.
It's just the trailer.
I like Jeremy Renner.
Yep.
I like Haley Steinfeld or
whatever her name. We don't like her that much because we don't know her name, but
yeah. I saw her in like Yeah,
we like her enough to know her first name and part of her last name, but we don't like her enough to know her actual full name.
Her actual name or how to actually pronounce it. That's the thing. I'm off now because like there's been after WandaVision, it's just been one crap fest after another as far as Marvel plus TV shows have been. So I like Jeremy Renner. I like Haley. So sure. I mean, at this point, it can't be worse than what I've been watching the last 5 months or whatever it's been. So sure. I mean, it looks like it'll be fun. It looks like it'll have some humor.
Humor in a Marvel movie?
I know. Will Kate Bishop be better than Clint Barton? They'll probably throw that in. She'll be a better archer than him.
No, I don't.
Look in the trailer. Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like that. She's wonky.
She's learning and shit.
She's learning and stuff, which is fine. Don't make her better. If they say that she's better, I will throw up.
Oh, they'll do that at the end. Yeah.
No, they won't say she's better at the end. She'll just be awesome at the end, which is fine.
All right.
What are you talking about? You're saying they're not going to say she's better. She'll just be that. They'll just make it that. Well, we'll see.
You'll bow down to her as like you are the better one now.
You are the better. Yeah. Well, so far the West Coast Avengers based stuff has been the good stuff. Oddly enough, which is the comic I like WandaVision and all that, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, like I said, it looks fun. I mean, it literally can't be worse than what we've been watching.
It could be worse, yeah.
What? I mean, it could be, but like, what? How much worse could it get?
I have no excitement for this, but the trailer is as stylish and pandering, which is the Marvel formula, as anything else. It's like they play a popular song you like with a lot of they make it look like an action movie. So it looks like. So you're now expecting like an kind of a buddy cop action thing, So yeah, it looks cool. We'll just see what the story is. That's yeah.
Now the buddy cop with him and Kate is the comics.
Yeah,
that is the because they brought back West Coast Avengers. They should have called it the woke Coast Avengers because it was like literally like I got the whole series because it's West Coast. I'm an idiot. Yes, if it says West Coast Avengers, I just buy it like an idiot. And then I'm reading this. I'm like, oh dear God, it wasn't bad really per se, but I thought, oh, this is gonna get mutilated online. Like it's because you got America Chavez in there, and she's a whatever character. Like badly, she's really awful. You had Kate, and you had Gwenpool.
Yes.
Who, I mean, really, I bought the little toy of her because she looks cute, but like it's like Gwenpool, right? So it's like it's like another copy of a Deadpool, like it's like a Deadpool of a Deadpool who is a copy himself, like. So that's awful. You had Kid Omega, who's just like a douchey kid. I'm like,
he's insufferable, man.
But he's actually much better in the very latest X-Men.
Okay.
There's a thing where he went into his psyche became like evil. It was and he fought himself. It was awesome. Okay. So he's graduated from Kid Omega to just being Omega, like being a good guy, like not a douche. Anyways, so I was like, oh dude, like come on, this comic is not going anywhere. Hi ho, it got canceled. So that was a shocker. So yeah. I did not watch What If because I just
I watched it.
You know what? Like literally
you don't have to. It's like
no, I'm gonna watch it. No, literally, I'm sitting here and I'm watching Power Rangers Ninja Steel. So I'm watching Power Rangers Ninja Steel. I'm almost caught up to all the Power Rangers. I've caught up to Dino Fury, and I watched all of Beast Wars. I'm going backwards for some reason on it. So I'm literally sitting there like, should I watch another episode of Ninja Steel, or should I watch What If? I'm like, screw it, I'll watch Ninja Steel. And then I literally turned to my wife and I was like, you realize that I'm literally forcing Steve and Sean to watch What If, to stream about it, and then I'm not gonna watch it just to be a dick. And I'm like, I couldn't do it. I had to watch Ninja Steel. The thing is, Ninja Steel ended on a 2-parter, so I had to watch the second one. So I'm like, yeah, screw it. So what happened? Was it any good or what?
No.
It sucks, right? Okay.
It's funny because if you like Killmonger as a villain, like, oh, he's great, he has a point, and all this bullshit, right? You're not gonna like this episode, but I see people forcing themselves to like it. But it's like, it's yeah. I mean, whatever. He rescues Tony Stark. So Tony Stark never learns his lesson, right, and becomes Iron Man. So that never happens. Then he makes Killmonger like his second in command and everything. And they show all the other guys. They show Don Cheadle and everyone going, oh no, you know. And it was and then so yeah, so obviously he's trying to enact his plan that he always had leading into Black Panther. So then he uses Stark Industries to do all that, and he kills almost everyone dies, right?
So it just shows that he is a true villain, basically.
He's a true villain. At the end, there's a line or something like, Tony Stark says something like, I don't see the difference between you and me or whatever. And then he goes, well, that's the problem. I do, right? Which basically just says I'm a racist. Like, rather than like, I have all these points and shit that people always point to from Black Panther. And, it's just, he just basically, I don't know who wrote this. So yeah, it's kind of a nothing whatever story. They're doing all these weird pulls. I don't know where they're getting these ideas from. To me, this should be obvious. It's like, like bad guys winning, or like someone else being the character or something like that, which almost always happens. Like almost happens in the movies, and then you could just show what would happen. But they're not doing that. They're just doing. I mean, did anyone want to see this? Like, did anyone think, oh, what if, like, randomly somehow Killmonger was on the field in Afghanistan when Tony Stark was visiting and rescued him? What are the wonders that we'd see? Like, I don't think anyone
who
cares.
thought of that?
Where are they getting these ideas from? It's so weird. Like, to me, like, what if Ultron won? They're done. It's like, what if Captain America didn't smash his shield right next to Iron Man in Civil War? He actually beheaded Iron Man. What would happen then? It's like, these things almost happen. Yeah, I mean, these things almost happen. That is true. What if? I don't know what this is. Like,
one decision from using the shield to just give it back and say, look, I'm done with you. Take your stupid shield back, or to complete the finishing blow or whatever. That's the decision of Killmonger rescuing Iron Man doesn't make sense, because that didn't even happen in the movie.
It didn't even happen.
It's not like he was there and could have done something.
It's like that whole Doctor Strange. What if Doctor Strange really, 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 really loved this woman? It's like, who is this character? I had to look her up. It's like,
I didn't know
she in that movie. It's like, did he ever love her then? I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
Yeah.
So I will say that the one part of it that started out intriguing was the idea of, what if Tony Stark hadn't been Iron Man, what would have happened? Right. Like, and that was the one part where I was like, oh, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But it quickly petered out. The only other positive thing I can say is I love Andy Serkis as Claw.
Yeah.
He's voiced in it. I love his South African accent. I love Andy Serkis as Claw. I can't explain to you why. Because he dies in Black Panther, and spoiler alert, he dies in this. But I just love him as Claw. I would love him to revisit this character.
I'll say this: the designs are great. All the likenesses look amazing.
Perfect.
And Michael B. Jordan's likeness is outstanding.
Yeah,
I don't know if he just acted and then they animated over him or something. I don't know what happened, but
I don't think it's rotoscoped.
No.
But the question I have is the Marvel universe now revolve around Black Panther? This is the third
Black Panther. Yeah.
What ifs that has Black Panther prominently in it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, did Marvel Universe just become Black Panther? Like, I don't understand.
I like seeing more.
Well, Black Panther was the first film ever made.
Yeah. Pardon?
Black Panther was the first film ever made, so it's super important.
But like, I'm not complaining about that because we're not going to see Black Panther. We're not going to see T'Challa after this. Apparently.
That's true.
So it's like, I'll take all the T'Challa I can get,
right
now. And it's funny because I don't even know when his last performance is now, because apparently he's strewn throughout the series. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I like, of course, I like Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. I just want to know why every other What If episode is literally about
Black Panther. Yeah,
it's just, or a Black Panther character. Like, I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Like, this is all we're getting. Like, wasn't the whole point that they did 24 movies with all these characters? They had this rich playground to play in, and now they're just focusing on one or two. Like, and they did this before with Iron Man. Like, they focused on Iron Man for like all these movies. He was in Spider-Man movies. He was prominent in Civil War, which was supposed to be a Captain America movie. Avengers, of course, and his own movies. I'm like, holy shit, Iron Man is the Marvel Universe. Well, now it seems it's going to be Black Panther who's the Marvel Universe. No, he's not, because they're not going to recast the part. I don't know what they're doing. Like, it's improbable to me that these guys keep making mistake after mistake after mistake, but they keep doing it. They keep proving me wrong. I'm like, eventually they have to stop, but they don't.
Yeah, it seems like everyone is making different mistakes. That you'd think that just by accident they wouldn't make these mistakes anymore. You know what I mean? It's like everyone is making the same mistakes over. Not the same mistakes. They're making the same mistakes themselves, but they're different. Like the Marvel mistakes, the DC mistakes. It's like they're different mistakes, but they keep remaking their own mistakes. And it's like, guys, wake the F up. It's like, DC has 4 million characters that are out there that you could do stuff with. But it's like, why don't you just, have Superman, have Batman, have your two forerunners, and then every so often insert someone else. Yeah, that's the plan. Somebody was that last week's stream? Someone said, "What would you do?" It was Arkham. It's like, what would you do? What would you do? What? Make a Superman movie every 2 years. It's like, hire Henry Cavill, and if you don't like the Zack Snyder shit, then don't use that. Have Henry Cavill be a different Superman. Or if you want Zack Snyder's stuff, then use it. I don't know. Make a call. But Superman should have a movie every 2 years. Yeah. Like, Henry Cavill's not getting any younger. It's like every 2 years, Superman movie. In between, do Blue Beetle. Do Flash. Do Aquaman. Then do a Wonder Woman. Then do maybe like Blue Beetle 2, and then maybe do like a Plastic Man or some shit. Maybe do a Swamp Thing. Like, I don't understand. Superman and Batman are your two main guys. We'll keep making movies. It's just like the first part of Marvel was so great. It was like there would be Iron Man, and there'd be like some other Cap, Thor, Iron Man 2, then Avengers. So it's like those characters in Avengers were like the big mega movies you have to see. Yeah. Then you put in a small movie. But now what they're doing is, we only have one focus, which is to do whatever we want to get the Twitter crowd to give us as many likes as possible. It's like, do you care about your characters? No. You don't care about them at all? No.
Yeah, I think they're lost too, because it's like, who are they focusing on? Like, honestly, they need to concentrate everything on Fantastic Four and X-Men.
That's what we said that last stream.
Top tier guys. It's like, do that. I know they have leeway and carte blanche to do all these. And I applaud that, because, I mean, when would you ever see a Shang-Chi movie? I mean, the thing about Shang-Chi is that it's not really Shang-Chi, but like, my God, they poured 100 million plus into this movie. It's kind of awesome. It's kind of awesome that there's an Eternals tentpole picture coming out, right?
That's
no matter
awesome,
how good or bad it is. It's cool. But also, I think to your point, Steve, like I think Black Panther was supposed to lead the way going forward, and that of course can't happen now. Doctor Strange is the other person they could probably.
But Benedi, I say Benedi because you know why I say Benedi, but Benedi is too big. Yeah, he's like, I have to win Oscars. I can't be doing this Doctor Strange all the time.
Yeah, that's the Ben Affleck problem that I always said
too big. He's too big.
Like when he said Ben Affleck's Batman, it's like, that sounds really great on paper. That's awesome. But this man's blowing up. It's like, then after they announced that and they were shooting Batman, he won like Best Picture for Argo. He was like a big. He's not just some dumbass actor guy. He's like a producer, he's a director, and he wants to win some Oscars and go on a run now, you know. And
well, he wants to direct. I think he wants to tell story. This is their thing from the day one of that Good Will Hunting boring movie. Yeah. It's like whatever, people like it. That's fine. It's boring. I saw it in the theater. It's boring. Yeah, we're not pretending it's not boring.
Yeah.
Okay. But they want to tell stories and direct stuff. They make fun of it in those in the Kevin Smith movies, right? Where it's like, oh, you do these movies because you owe your friend a favor, and they look over, oh, you know, it's like he wants to tell stories. He wants to be behind the camera.
Yeah.
He directed that one. What did he just? He directed a few pictures. What was that one?
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl.
Yeah.
He right. So this is what he
didn't
wants.
Direct that. He directed Gone Baby Gone.
Gone Baby Gone. That's the one.
And The Town.
Yeah. And The Town.
Movies are there?
No, Gone Girl's that one where literally you can guess the entire movie, because if you don't guess it, there is no movie.
That was that big director. What's his name? The one who did Social Network.
Oh yeah. Wow, we're supposed to be movie buffs. We're awful. Anyways, it's just that we're old, guys. Don't get mad at us in the chat. We're old. We don't remember things anymore. I'll say this. See, Henry Cavill was a good find. Right, because he was in that Hellraiser movie, and no one gives a shit about that. And it's like you found him, but now he became too big. What you were supposed to do is lock in a 5-picture like solo series or something.
Yeah.
Lock him in, lock that guy in, and then you got him.
Yeah.
Right? But
when he went off to do The Witcher, it was like, well, that's it.
That's it. It's over now, because that's a very popular
show
and the games and all that. There's toys of it.
Yeah.
So I don't play that game, but it doesn't matter. It's a thing, right? Now he's season 2 of that is Witcher season 2 is out or coming very soon. That's it. Henry Cavill's now he needs too much money because it's not worth his time.
Yeah.
Right? It's not worth his time to do it. That's the problem.
I always shake my head when I hear about like, well, they tried to get him in Shazam and he asked for too much money and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, on the face of it, like some people be like, well, because he asked for too much money and all that. I go back to the source and I say, but my God, why is there a negotiation for him to be in Shazam? Was there not a contract? It's like, that's how Marvel does it.
Yeah.
It's like when people turn up in other movies just for like 5 minutes, which happens all the time, it's not an accident. They negotiate all this shit. It's like up front. So there's no tension when they're like, you know what, Cavill, come do a thing where you're in a cafeteria at the end of Shazam. He's like, okay, no, it's part of my contract. I'll do it. There's no tension. But it's a big studio that's been around for dog years. Like one of
the original studios, man.
What the hell's wrong with them? Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking OG studios.
Yeah.
Like
it's one of the crown jewels.
It's like one of the it's like this is like it's like we're talking like old Hollywood. Like what is happening with these people?
The corporations, right? Like it's corporations owning it, because Jack Warner, the Warner Brothers, MGM, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, those guys, their business was making movies. That was their business. Their businesses were built around making movies. David O. Selznick, Irving Thalberg, all those big time early producers in that, they were there to make movies. Now movies are part of a conglomerate of businesses, right? It's like they're owned by Coke and Time Warner and guys like that, where they're like, okay, we'll have like John go and overlook the film division, right? It's not a priority anymore. They don't have any respect for film, the history of film. They're like, we'll throw whatever together. We'll hire whoever to make the Twitter crowd happy. We'll throw $100 million at it. Well, $300 million, because it's like you have to pay whatever, and then you have to pay double that for the marketing.
Right.
And people will go see it. And if people like it, doesn't matter, because our coffers are full by then. Like they released Justice League. That was a fucking nightmare, because it wasn't even done, and they're like, yeah, we'll release it. No one wants, no one has faith in this, but we need.
It was because there was a sales closeout coming.
Yeah.
And the problem was that they had to rush it before that so that they could get their bonuses before the sale. They wouldn't get the bonuses from that, right? Or some stupid shit like that. That's why there's rumors flying around. There's a merger. I can't remember what the hell's going on with Warner Brothers, but like the whole thing with Discovery or whatever the bullshit.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Rushed out Justice League 2 before then. to make some sort of money before, I don't know, some bullshit. That's probably some fanboy dreamed that up because of what happened, right? So but anyways, yeah, look, we sit here and we armchair this and we're like, well, you should do this and that, and like it seems like our suggestions are to make money, right? But like,
right,
but it seems so baffling to us that these studios make these. I mean, like, what's happened to the DC movies? Like, it is effed up. But whenever I hear about Warner Brothers, it just sounds like office politics come home to roost with everything. It's like, I didn't do this because I don't like this guy. Like, it's like they don't like Henry Cavill for whatever reason. There's a reason, we don't know what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't like Zack Snyder, so they shit on him all the time, right? But it's like, yeah, so you don't like his vision, but don't shit on the guy too, and makes, if people
just don't hire him, but hire someone. But they're I don't understand. Their whole thing is like everything is always wrapped up within the character, as though the character can't be separated from something.
Yeah.
Well, we don't like Zack Snyder. Okay, so then get someone else. Why is Superman
not being made? It's like
right. Why is Superman suffering so that you can play your politics with Zack Snyder?
Yeah,
let's
make a Suicide Squad. Let's make a Suicide Squad 2. It's like, no one wants your fucking Suicide Squad movies.
I know. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I know. It's like I don't know. It's like you blew it up. No. it's like, yes, stop it. Just stop making your garbage Suicide Squad movies. They don't want them. It's like, make Superman. Well, even though this TV Superman is not perfect, and it's really not the exact Superman that we would actually for sure really want, it's somewhat of a compromise, and people seem to like it. So you can somewhat do something with this character and make it okay. And so why can't you just figure it out? I don't know. It just seems like if you really want to get money, you'd figure something out, and that's what I don't understand. I understand they want money. Mm-hmm. But they're not getting it. They're not. They're
they go on like, they overthink it. They're like, we need to put a spin on this, so that audiences like, what are you talking about? You did that the last couple times, and you put a shitty spin on it, and it's not what people wanted. It's like
they don't want it.
Listen, like I'll evoke the name. BVS, I think, really hurt things because if you're talking about a general audience. Like, I know people at work that laugh at that movie and talk about like being dragged to that movie by their friends. And it's Superman and Batman. They know that from their childhood, and Christopher Reeve and Michael Keaton and all that. So they go and they come out there like, what in fuck's name was that?
It's a bit of a nightmare.
It's stupidness. And it's like, you way overthought this. Like, these aren't the characters. Like what? And like everyone from my mom to like a 2-year-old knows that. These aren't the characters. What are you doing?
They messed it up, man. I know, and I know people like it, and people who are on my thing, they like it too, and that's fine. But it's a bit of a disastrous mess. Like Man of Steel, I could take on its level, even though upon further viewings later, I'm like, But like it's like, Superman dies at the end. It's like, there's Doomsday and all this, and people are like, wait, what is happening? Like, it's just confusion. Nothing like, matters. It's
Superman
like,
dies, and I am shedding no tears.
Yeah, no one. Yeah,
who cares?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. And then they didn't know what to do from that, right? And then that got messed up. But they didn't want to take the long route, right? So Warner Brothers has to take some responsibility on their own. They should have done a Batman movie. Right, to establish. Why didn't they just copy Marvel? Do a Superman movie, do a Batman movie, do a Wonder Woman.
Because they wanted it right now.
They wanted it right now.
Yeah.
And the problem is they got screwed over that. Yeah. Whatever you want to argue about the quality of the movie, if you like it or don't like it, generally it's not loved. Right? Like generally it's people might like Justice League, Zack Snyder Justice League, but generally BVS is really not liked that much. So but that's because again, nothing's earned. It's all these characters in here, and people know Batman. Oh yeah, Batman. They're like, why are they fighting? Why are they fighting? It's like I don't know why they're fighting.
It's funny
because it is.
Yeah, BVS and I think Civil War came out the same year. No, something like that. And they're both kind of the same thing. Yeah, they're both kind of the same thing. Like two heroes fighting each other and stuff. They're both messy. But like
Yep.
Civil War is the crowd pleaser for whatever reason, because it's like there's no reason for Spider-Man to be in there, but he is, and people love that.
Right.
No reason for Black Panther to be in there, but he is, and that's the best Black Panther we got.
Yeah, it
It's
is the Black Panther.
there's no reason
Panther.
for Ant-Man to be in there, but he is, and people love that, right? Yeah.
Well, but that movie had setup because Tony and Cap were always kind of iffy with each other anyway. Not in the same movie they're in.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was building up throughout the movies. And they were smart and they got rid of Thor. So he couldn't come in and just end it all and be like, guys, smarten up and, both smack both guys around and be like, it's done. Right. So they did smart things with that. Right. And that's fine. Yeah, it's just they wanted it too fast, and then it got messy, and then they needed a scapegoat, so they had Zach in there, and now they don't know what to do with themselves. And it's like, well, you guys kind of messed up this entire thing, and I don't think Justice League makes up for the disasters of BVS, in my opinion, at all.
Yeah, by all means, make your $200 million like freaking Suicide Squad movie. It's like,
right, go ahead and waste money on that.
It's like, look, we've got the weasel or whatever. It's like,
right, like, oh my god,
that was a mess, man. That movie is a frigging mess. Again,
like, and you can watch it as a joke action movie.
We've got Deathstroke, Bloodshot person. It's like, no one's gonna know who the hell these guys are, right?
I know people have said, it's like, is that the same guy? I'm like, no, that's but
it's the same character anyways, because there's the daughter.
Like, yeah, but his daughter. I'm like, no, I know, but no, it's a different. No, it's not. It's different. It's like, yeah, but Will Smith didn't want to come back. People started inventing stuff. Oh, they recast him. I'm like, no.
Is Will Smith? No, it's not.
No, that's not what happened, guys. It's like, yes, Will Smith didn't want to come back. No, you're right. Will Smith isn't coming back, but that's not that character. This isn't Val Kilmer, Michael Keaton.
Now they have the same problem I have.
That's right. God. Okay.
Wow.
Let's talk about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Okay, so Sean, you saw the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Steve, did you see any of it?
I saw the first episode.
Okay, you saw the first episode. Yeah, okay. Well, what did you think, I guess, based off the first episode?
I wanted to see the next episode, so that's the best thing I can say. Like, I've been in a place where I'm now finally watching the rest of Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Okay? Yeah.
Finally, I got this Cell. So Cell's just appeared.
Yeah. So Boo is after that, and then you're done.
Yeah. Well, they got Broly and all that stuff too.
No, he's not in Kai.
He's not?
Broly is not an official Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
thing.
okay.
He's his own thing.
Well, they have the tournament, and then they have Boo.
It'll be the Cell games, and then it'll be there's two Boos, anyways. Whatever.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Yeah. Okay. So they're doing the Cell
I already
games.
knew that, but
okay.
So, I mean, it's hard to pry me away. Like, what if is literally like going to the dentist now, where it's like, you're going to go through a bit of pain, and hopefully you walk out there with all your teeth intact.
Mm-hmm.
But like. He-Man was fun. It was very nice. It's not your father's He-Man or whatever the hell you want to say about it. Like, it is totally different. But I liked all the characters. I liked the CGI. I thought it was well done.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that he makes everyone pumped up, which didn't happen this episode, but I know from your video that it happens.
And the villains also.
Yeah, and the villains also.
Everyone gets powered up.
Yeah. I mean, is it for kids? Yeah, probably, whatever. But like, it's super fun. I didn't walk out or mad at all, which is usually what happens when I watch things nowadays. I'm just pissed off by the end of it. So, it's entertaining. I'll watch the rest of them because it was fun. Which
they go by fast too. It's very.
I never say anything's fun anymore. Well, I did watch a movie called Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, I know Jojo Rabbit. I didn't see
that movie. Was awesome.
Oh, I'm gonna watch. Okay, I gotta watch it now. Everyone was saying it was awesome, but nobody that I knew said it was awesome.
I'll probably show it to you.
Okay. Well, no, Rashmi, my wife wants to watch that. She's been bugging me to watch that, and I was like, nah.
No, I recommend it.
All right, so I will watch that. We just finished Samurai Gourmet. She's watched my wife's watched it twice over. It's a TV series. It's awesome. But okay, so He-Man. So Sean, I know that you like, I guess what, halfway through episode 1 you texted me and gave it the thumbs up or something like that, right? And it's
It's 11 minutes in,
11 minutes in, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is good. And so basically it took 11 minutes for 5 episodes of Revelations got destroyed in 11 minutes of this thing. Okay, go for it.
You know, the reason why in 11 minutes I fell in love with it is because what's her name? Tila steals the thing or whatever.
The sword of power.
And Evelyn and
Evelyn, I love it.
Evelyn,
I mean, look, that's cheese, but that, listen, they pulled that before.
Yeah.
That's this is not the first time they've pulled that.
No.
That
Evelyn and Kronos are after and so are the guards, and the guards are shooting at her. And so Evelyn shoots back at them and stuff. And Tila's like, no, they're only doing their job. Like, and she protects them. And I was like, oh, wait, this is more mindful than I've seen in writing. Like, I mean, like, I've never seen that sort of mindfulness in Supergirl, for example. Like, that show is bad for that, right? But even in season 1, like, it's always been like, no, cops die, and it's like, Supergirl was there, and when you're writing this, wouldn't you think that she's gonna save them? So that was cool, and it showed some personality and heart and honor in the characters. And so they go after Cringer, who's caught by those robot guys, and they're working together and stuff, and they're not at each other's throats and shit. And I like that. And then at the end of that chase, I was like, you know what? This is cool. And I see that there's like there's smarts to it. The writers aren't trying to prove any sort of points other than friendship and heroism and doing the right thing, right? And that's it, you know. And not shoving down. And it's not the hot take approach to writing in that, like, oh, what if this, what if that, and that's what I get from Revelation. You know, like in Revelation, just like all of a sudden Skeletor is in Tila's ball or whatever, and comes out. It's like, where'd that power come from? Oh, because sorcerer. Like, oh, isn't it clever? Oh, I came up with that in the writer's room. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? And then he becomes Skelegod. Okay, so how are they supposed to fight that? We never set that up. Well, then I don't really want to watch the next. It's just, you're just coming up with smart ass bullshit hot take ideas, and there's no story being told. You're not really like going from one thing to the other thing. Nothing leads to the other thing, to the other thing, to the other. Nothing escalates. It's just like, oh, this thing happens, and then wouldn't it be cool? This thing happened. Wouldn't it be cool? This thing happened. And you can detect that kind of writing. Right, Last Jedi is chock full of that. Right. You can detect that kind of thing right away. Here, it seems like writing. It's just
right.
And
they wrote a show.
Yeah, and Keldor is scary and awesome. Like, he kills guys. Like, he straight up murders those guys in stone, and like, he's kind of scary. And Tila and Kronos, or not Tila, sorry, Evelyn and Kronos are immediately like, we gotta like dethrone this guy, right? You know. But I love all the acting in it, and I love the animation of the acting. I think Keldor's facial expressions is the very best in the show. Yeah. It's so awesome. It's like you really get like what he's saying and stuff. I just think it's cool. If I had some small quibbles, I'd say I feel like that Mattel is doing their own thing with the toys. Like, they have the Road Ripper, which is not in this show. That snake attack thing is not in this show either. But that's cool. I mean, I'll get those. Is there more to this or no?
I think there might be some more.
Yeah. What?
I think there might be some more. But yeah, the Skeletor's throne that shoots the green havoc energy is a toy. Yeah. That's kind of neat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Some of the vehicles. They have vehicles in the show, but those vehicles are not in the wave 1 of the toys.
Well, no, they have spaceships and shit, but they don't have like.
No, they have the sky sleds.
Yeah, I saw He-Man on a motorbike, and they called it the Road Ripper.
Yeah, that's the toy, which is yeah. But in the show, they've got the sky sleds, but they didn't make a toy.
They call them sky sleds, and they're kind of like they're
round thingies. Yeah, I like them. They're neat.
It went by. The pacing is excellent.
It's
like
super
it
fast.
zipped by. Like if you want a lesson in pacing, watch this show. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's about friendship. And look, the guy who thought of the idea of sharing the power, because he already shares it with Krenger. Why doesn't he get? I always thought too. It's like, what if he pointed the sword?
Yeah, but the point is made too that they can use it whenever they want to. But with Skeletor, you can't.
You can't. No, but no, you can. But Skeletor flipped the spell so that only he can. When they're like, it's like, well, Skeletor, we're gonna do it. He's like, no, I didn't give you this power so that you could take it upon yourself. It's like you do it when I allow it, and it's just the best because they immediately try to betray him, and he's like, yeah, that's not happening. Now that makes it better because it shows that Skeletor is smart, thinking ahead, and he's controlling them. And the other thing too is
the writers are smart.
The writers are smart because Skeletor is smart. Now and I love the idea that they have their human names and they have their masters' names, which is cool. Yeah. So Trapjaw and all that. And Trapjaw, it's like they took everything to the extreme. Trapjaw just doesn't have like that jaw. Because when Cronus got that jaw,
you couldn't like move it. Yeah.
You couldn't, yeah. But then it's like when he becomes Trapjaw, it's like an inferno of spikes. You're like,
he's got like a trash compactor in his mouth.
In his mouth,
like that. Yeah,
you're like, that's pretty cool.
I don't know if the toy's gonna do that, but yeah.
No, I won't. I looked up all the toys. So the other cool thing is that it's about He-Man. Now the only reason the other masters can do anything is that they got linked. Certain items that they had got linked to the Sword of Power.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still He-Man. It's the Sword of Power. It says He-Man in big. It's Adam's story with his father and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Randor isn't death. Notice how Randor isn't an ass king, right?
No, Randor actually he's stern and stuff. And I was like, are they gonna go villain with him? But no, he's just a stern dude. But like I almost teared up when they reunited. I was like,
I know, me too.
You're so so honest. It's like
and Randor's like saving people, but Randor's smart too. He's like, wait, you stole the sword. Why are you here protecting me and all that, right? And it's like he's like, well, and then Adam's like, well, also I don't think I can really fight a storm. Maybe we should go. It's like,
but they showed He-Man being honorable and King Randor, like he's always getting in the way, like getting in front of people and stuff. And at one point, like he's gonna die. And so He-Man's like, no, fuck. And then
he blocks it and all that.
So that means that he would have risked his life to save those like peasant guys.
He did, and then He-Man came in too, right? So it's like, it's awesome. But like the evolution of Keldor to Skeletor was awesome because he's like, well, I'm never going to have the Sword of Power. So he's like, F it. I'll take the Havoc Staff. Yeah. And he transforms it into the cooler Havoc Staff, which is like so awesome. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, now I'm this pumped up guy. And then it's like, he like literally wields like, I love the idea of like wielding like the weapons and shit for the other guys.
Yeah.
And then Beastman, now like Beastman looks cool even when he's the normal form. He was a neat character.
Yeah.
The guy who came up, this is still toys too, because you can make both toys. You can make regular Duncan and then you can make Man-at-Arms. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Now, I am not tense over this Teela thing. Firstly, her being the sorceress, because she was going to be sorceress anyways. That was always a thing.
She was supposed to be,
right? Also, I don't mind the race bending on this one because these characters are more the spirit of the characters rather than the actual physical manifestations. Here's the
brand new thing too.
It's a brand new thing. This Teela is like a Teela in spirit, whereas the Revelations ones looks like Teela in the first episode.
It's supposed to be actual Teela, and
Teela,
it's not.
And it's not Teela. So it's not the character. And the other thing too is that, you know what? What happened to getting your family together? I told my buddy, our mutual friend in Israel, who's got 2 daughters, I was like, get your daughters together, buddy, and watch He-Man. You guys are going to be excited. What happened to getting the family together to watch He-Man? Like this shit of Revelations, like it's like Adam's getting stabbed and there's blood gushing out of his like gut and everything, and they're all dying. I'm like, this is trash. Like, who is this made for?
Yeah.
If it's made for
who's it made for?
If it's made for me, then why are you making my characters into garbage characters? Like I always liked Teela, and now she sucks. So why she suck now? That's why is Evelyn suck, right? Why, like, but even other guys, like, it's like, why is like Triclops have this weird cult now? Like, I don't understand what's going
You're
on.
not doing anything with that, so what's the point of this? Because hot take.
Because
What if he had a cult? It's like, oh yeah, and what happens after that? And
nothing.
Then they attack and then they go away. It's like, well, what is
and then you know what somebody said? They're like, well, we got to see Stinkor, we got to see Scareglow. Oh my god. Okay. When you're a kid, you pick up your He-Man toy, you pick up your Scareglow toy if you had them, and you fight, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't see that. I didn't see He-Man fight Scareglow. I saw garbage Teela, who doesn't even look like Teela, talk to Scareglow. I'm like, this is not exciting. Like, don't pretend you're giving me stuff. Oh, didn't you ever want to see Stinkor go at it? It's like, yeah, I want to see Stinkor fight Fisto or Stinkor fight He-Man, not Stinkor fight or negotiate terms or get beat up by Teela and her friend or whatever, you know, which was all that friend is also race bent, by the way, because that is a character from the comics. I don't remember her name, of course, because like no one cares. Audra? No, what's her name?
Audra? Yeah, I think
no.
what it is.
Yeah, something like that. Andra or something. Andra?
I think it's Audra.
Audra, okay, yeah. So that's garbage too. Like, why are you pretending that we want this? It's like, well, Orko was annoying. Let's make him die. No, we never said that. It's like when you're watching a show as a kid, you don't think Orko's annoying. You just think, oh, he's cool. Like, first question asked by yours truly in the He-Man movie, live action movie, is like, wait, where's Orko?
Yeah.
And look, I like Gwildor, but Gwildor took a lot of heat because he was the Orko replacement.
Yeah.
And right. And that, and poor, what's the guy's name?
Billy Barty.
Billy Barty. I like him a lot, and I like Gwildor, and I think Gwildor is actually a very fun character, and I think he's kind of neat.
Yeah.
But man, we beat him up bad. We're just like, what the shit? That ain't effing Orko. This is crap. What is it? Like, everyone thought Skeletor looked cool. Mm-hmm. Everyone thought Beastman looked cool. Evelyn was awesome.
Oh, right? Yeah, Meg Foster.
She's awesome. Obviously, He-Man is awesome, right? Yeah. Sorceress looked cool.
Yeah.
It's like Orko got beat up. It's like, this is not Orko, and everyone was pissed off. So what is Kevin Smith talking about when nobody liked Orko? I liked him, and he came with a magic trick, which it's like I still have my childhood Orko figure. It's like, what are you talking about? So in this one, they paid more tribute to the Orko character than the other, because they made him like this great sorcerer who led his people into this other land or something like that. And you're like, why does this have more tribute to Orko than the other one? Now they made him that little robot who I think looks really cool.
He looks cool, yeah.
He looks cool to me. Yeah, I don't know. Randor, like, I was like, if they make, and I kept, you know, the problem is with this show, because it's made today, I sat there waiting for it to turn shit. I thought, oh, here we go. You know, Teela's going to be a bitch or something. And then nope, never happened. And then I thought, oh, Crass is going to be irritating. I really like her a lot.
Yeah.
I think she's like super funny. I love the idea that she just goes and smashes shit with her head. I know Ram Man, but Ram Man.
They call her Ram Man in it too.
They do call her Ram Man, yeah. Ram Man was weird anyways.
Yeah.
You know what, Sean, let me ask you a question. Somebody's mentioned this on one of the Facebook groups. What is this big thing now with Ram Man? It's like, oh, they turned her into a girl and all that. Where was the love for Ram Man? Because like Ram Man, the toy, sucks.
He's my first He-Man, so
yeah. Oh, great. Oh, awesome. But he's a
I like him, yeah.
Look, but his thing never worked properly.
Yeah.
No, it bought me in the nose one time. And I was like, oh god,
it didn't work properly. He was kind of a crappy toy. All of a sudden, now we have the big militants like, how dare you change Ram Man? It's like, I don't remember anyone.
I don't know. I didn't see anything like that, but like, it's just because they changed it, right? You know, but like, I like this character is different enough, and it's not even the female Ram Man to me.
No, it's not. She's not even the same.
Yeah, because
I actually liked the 2002, and I said this in my video. Yeah. I mean, the best He-Man's the original. I mean, whatever. Yeah. But 2002 for my age, I should have clicked because I rewatched my video.
Yeah.
Before, like earlier today, I mean.
Yeah.
And I noticed I said, and I always do these unscripted. I said, I shouldn't have maybe said that because I didn't mean it in the way it came out. Yeah. I meant for someone my age right now, the 2002 series is the best. Right, for something that we would want to see as our
grown-up version of
the grown-up version.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The original version is the purest. The original He-Man is the purest, but I would almost say this is second
Yeah.
because it's the spirit of the old one. It's family entertainment, and it's selling toys to me because I'm buying these toys.
This is what I think they should do. And well, so they've done this with Power Rangers and Transformers in that usually every time there's a new show, it's a new reboot, and the core of the idea is still there. Like with Transformers, it's still like a good guy faction with a version of Prime, a bad guy faction with a version of Megatron, and they transform. And everything else is different, but it's still good because they make new characters and there's new scenarios, and it's cool. Power Rangers, it's like it's always young men and women pilot a Zord, they form a big Zord, and then there's a bad guy with some rubber monsters, and everything else is different, and it's different variations, and they keep reiterating that, and that's cool. But for G.I. Joe and for He-Man, they've been stuck in time. It's like it's the same. It's like it's G.I. Joe versus Cobra. They haven't really been, and I don't know if it's the fans preventing that or something, but like with He-Man, it was like that. And this was a fresh reinvention of with the same core concepts. Mm-hmm. It's like there's a good guy base and bad guy base that look the same. He-Man's He-Man, Skeletor's Skeletor. There's other characters around them, and they fight. Done. It's a different scenario, different way of doing it, but it's cool. Like they can do that going forward. I know that Universal will get the rights to this in about a year. But this is what should have happened throughout the years with He-Man. It's what should have happened with G.I. Joe. But
Transformers does do that, right? They keep changing it because I've seen so many. There's ones now that are on right now on Netflix that keep popping up because I keep watching the Toys Made Us and all those other things. And it keeps popping up Transformers. And you look at it, you're like, shit, this looks pretty damn cool.
There's a lot of cool Transformers. They're countless. I used to know them all off by heart. Now there's so fucking many.
Yeah. Started the Prime one, Transformers Prime.
Cool. Yeah.
Transformers Prime. Yeah, I liked that a lot. And that was like a CGI sort of looking thing. Yeah. And my wife kind of was like, oh, this looks really neat. Yeah, I thought, but it was it wasn't Michael Bay, but it
was sort of Michael Bay adjacent.
Yeah, there's like sprinkles of it.
But then they made Transformers animated, and that was 2D again. But I remember like people seeing the stills of that before it came out. It's like, this is shit. This is gonna look like shit. This is gonna be shit. And then when it came out, it's like probably better than Prime. It's like the story was good, the characters were cool, you know. It's like you can't count it out. Like, but once again, it was completely different. You know, it's like the world, like the world of it was different, and the characters were different. But it's the same. Like, there's a Prime, there's a Megatron, and they transform. You know.
Yeah, and like Power Rangers is literally different every season. Sometimes they do two. There's two.
It's two seasons. Yeah, usually.
Sometimes there's two. Right, two Beast Morphers. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Except for, you know, even the colors rotate sometimes, but you've got your three primary colors, and then you've got your two secondary colors. It's usually green or yellow or green or pink or whatever.
You know, the only one that's always magical and born with a fucking silver spoon up its ass is Ninja Turtles, because I don't know, they got like a lucky horseshoe up their ass or something. It's the same fucking thing every time, and it's always big. Like
I don't know what it is about Ninja Turtles. Well, this new Ninja Turtles looked awful, but that Nickelodeon, the CGI version, was freaking awesome, man. Yeah. Holy shit! I'm thinking that's my favorite one. Yeah, I'm thinking that's better than the original cartoon, but I wasn't really growing up on that original cartoon. It seemed a bit lame to me. Like, I thought it looked cool. I liked the movies a lot, and I thought the toys were cool. And the cartoon was okay. It's fine. Like, it's fine. It's a cartoon. It's neat. Yeah. But like, and then they had that other one where I don't know. I couldn't get into it.
The 2003 one was cool because it was more like the old comics.
Yeah, it was more modernized, like going by like the more violent, not violence, but you know what I'm saying. It's more grown up or whatever.
But they had all the concepts from that, like the Triceratons and all that.
Yeah. But then the Nickelodeon one seemed to combine elements of everything, and it just worked for me. Like. And I watched, I don't know how many seasons there were but I watched like at least the first 3 seasons fully, like every episode. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I thought I was gonna get beat up on this He-Man video, but it seems like, you know, people are liking it. And the big one to start it off was Clownfish TV, because they're the first guys that nailed that Kevin Smith on his bullshit.
Yeah.
I think they were the first guys. And they're like, this isn't that bad. What the hell? And it's like, uh-oh. And I'm like, they're saying it's okay. And they're like, it's not He-Man, but it's kind of okay. It's kind of neat. And that's the breaking point, because now you got these guys on board who are like, hey, this isn't that bad. Now you know you've got some kind of a winner, because it's like if those guys are on board, then you know, because they're like, look, we're telling you what we're watching. They watched the first 3 or 4 episodes, and they did a video on the first 3 or 4 episodes, and they liked it. And when I'd seen their video, I'd already watched just the first episode.
They only watched 2 episodes with that first one.
Oh, they only watched the two?
Yeah.
I thought I thought they'd watched 3 or 4. But yeah, and whoever came up with the idea of powering up other guys, because now as a kid you can get pumped up for any character. Because like, look, He-Man was obviously the best, and Skeletor was my favorite just because he looked cool. Skeletons sell. That looks, skeletons are cool. I don't care if it's Jason the Argonauts.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's free, like Army of Darkness. They had the Skeleton Army.
Every Skeletor for the 2000X figure series was great.
Every Skeletor toy is just the best.
Yeah.
This one, the toy doesn't look as good as the cartoon Skeletor, and this one looks wicked.
Yeah.
Like the way and I love that he calls himself Skeletor, and I think that's kind of funny. And then He-Man's like, wait, why wouldn't you call your and then the other guy's like, wouldn't you call yourself Skeletor?
Yeah.
Because like technically it's just a skull. He's like, oh, whatever. And then He-Man's like, look, I don't care what you're calling yourself, whatever.
Whatever you're calling yourself.
That's fine. But then I like how like Adam doesn't want He-Man, but then Crass is forcing it. It's like, no, we're calling you He-Man. That's it. It's over.
It's funny too. They have the Saban power moves. Yes. It's like, and I like how they do the power moves, because so in the old days with Power Rangers, the Zord gets his sword and ends the fight immediately, and it's like, well, okay, so why don't you just do that before, right? So here it's like the first time He-Man does the mega move, it's like he's like lightning strikes, and then he gets power. I guess they're gonna do a powered up version like for the
guaranteed.
He destroys all those robots. It's like, okay, that's the ending move thing. But then he does it again later, and the consequences that it weakens him for a bit. But he does it later, and it makes a significant dent, but that doesn't end the fight. And I'm like, good. They're not using it like the old Power Rangers. Like, well, just use that fucking sword and just end it now.
Yeah, call the power sword right away.
But
it doesn't happen in modern Power Rangers though.
Yeah,
that doesn't have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
everyone else has power moves too.
Yeah, everyone has power moves. Yeah.
Yeah, and Skeletor has a power move as well, which is cool. And it's like video games, I guess, too, right?
It's video games.
But they have their own animation when they do it. So now, like, animators can cheat and say, like, everyone else transforms, and then everyone else gets power moves.
Well, I like that, and I like that. Crass becomes like a giant boulder and literally smashes shit. It's like, that's her thing.
Yeah, her power is cool. It's weird in a visual way, right? It's like
weird,
everything has rockets on her, and then she turns into like Samus from parts 2 and 3, where it's like a ball and you can like do attacks with the ball. So yeah. Anyway,
her figure is not anywhere to be seen right now.
Trying to figure out that ball, man.
I don't know. Yeah, what are you gonna do with that character? I actually like her. I like her normal look better, I think, than her powered up look, because it's like it's just like there's so much going on.
Of shit on her. It's like, what the
yeah, she's got like, it's like, what is happening? I don't like, I've just like lost myself in trying to figure out, like, I can't draw her on paper. I can't figure her out.
Yeah.
But and they set rules. Tila this is a thing. Magicians need their hands and their voice. It's a thing in D&D. They set up those rules. When she becomes sorceress, she just does whatever.
Because she's the real sorceress.
And Evelyn is like, "Wait, you're not speaking."
I like that. Yeah,
wasn't that cool? She's like, "Oh, I'm the fucking sorceress. Now what are you gonna do now?" You're like, "Shit!" All right, but then Evelyn gets pumped up, and then whatever, right? But, I love that Evelyn and Cronus immediately try to turn on Skeletor. Like they kept saying in that garbage Kevin Smith version, they kept saying, "Oh, Skeletor's keeping me down. and I was always looking up to him and trying to earn favor, and that's why I never did anything. It's like, what a lie!
Not in the shows I watched.
Not in the versions I watched.
Yeah.
Evelyn was always trying to friggin' undermine Skeletor, even in the movie too. It's like everyone knows this. It's like she even the movie first line Evelyn says like Grayskull will be ours, and then Skeletor's like no, mine, and she's like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have said that out loud.
The other thing too is,
and she leaves him at the end. He's like, and he's like, surely you wouldn't leave while Skeletor. She's like, okay, that's cool.
She's treacherous, man.
She's treacherous. Yeah, what show did Kevin Smith watch?
Oh, he didn't watch it.
Well, he didn't watch it.
No.
But it's such a lie. It's a terrible lie.
Well, yeah, it's badly written too, and like I've said this a million times, but like they kept using stakes as a talking point excuse. It's like, we're setting up stakes, but I don't think they know what stakes are. So stakes are like, you set up what the risk is, but part of that risk is the audience has a general sense of broad strokes of what to do about that, but they don't know how it's going to be done.
Right.
That how and that journey to get there is what they're anticipating, right? So at the end of this ends in the cliffhanger, spoilers. Right. At the end of this, 2 stakes are put down. And you understand. Now I'm looking forward to watching the rest of it because you understand what they have to do, but you don't know how they're going to do it, right?
Right.
With Skelegod, that's not a stake to me because how do you fight that guy? You never showed me how they're supposed to vanquish this guy or get rid of that god power. I don't know. And so what am I looking forward to? But like at the end of this one, it's like the 2 things is like, overthrow this guy and find this other thing. I know that. How they do it is the adventure that I'm looking forward to seeing.
And you can break the Havoc
You're
stuff.
supposed to fight Skelegod. What is the story you're setting up here? I don't know. What are these stakes you speak of?
Yeah, because it's very clear, and this is a thing even in the movie, if you can destroy the Havoc staff, that'll suck away the power. So if they can somehow get to it and destroy it, that's one way.
Yeah,
it's like, how do you beat Skelegod? I don't get it. Like,
and nothing's weird because
nothing's ever been said. Like, it's like, well, you can't kill him. He just kills everybody. Now it's over.
But they come up with everything is smart ass ideas and hot takes rather than anything being earned. So it's like, I mean, how they got there was, as I said, Skeletor was hiding in that globe. Yeah. I never knew he could really do that. So what the hell's that? So the way they defeat him will be some other thing they pull out of their ass.
Right.
One thing I thought of too, I read this interview with Kevin Smith before, actually after Revelations came out, and they were talking about, he was talking about like, as a kid, it just angered me. As a kid, I didn't understand. I was like, what if He-Man then said, he's He-Man, and he says, I have the power, and he holds up a sword. Would he get like double dosed, right? And so, and he's like, oh, this show will answer that question. So I assume that when He-Man fights Skeletor again in episode 7, he does that, like he becomes super duper He-Man or something. I never asked that because I understand that when He-Man holds up his sword and says, I have the power, he gets all the power. He doesn't get half the power. Like the Castle Grayskull doesn't stinge him on the power.
Right.
He gives him all the fucking power. I never thought, oh, he got like a quarter of the fucking power, so he can always do that and get like another dose of power. Like, I never thought that. Who fucking thinks that? It's like, when you watch it, it's pretty clear. Why would he just get some of it and then he could get more of it? What does Kim Smith think is happening? So anyways, look forward to that.
Kim Smith's not as smart as he thinks he is, eh?
If he says I have the power twice and he gets double the power, you're just opening up a can of worms, because that's going to be, well, what if he says it 47 times? It's like, will he like?
Yeah, you say it like forever, and then one Skelegod be like, okay, well, I'll do that then. Like
it's 6
everyone
minute
will
abs.
have power.
it was what was it, 6 minute abs or 5 minute abs? what was that joke? That was what that was that something about Mary? There's something about Mary. Where the guy's like, he goes, oh, I developed a technique to do 5 minute abs, and then Ben Stiller's like, well, what if someone does 4 minute abs?
4 minute
what?
abs.
That can't happen. It's like that. Because like the guy's like, I don't know. I always saw that movie once. I didn't think it was that funny, But and like the one guy's like goes, oh, I got this idea for a business. He's like, you know how there's 6-minute abs? He's like, I'm gonna do 5-minute abs. And then Ben Stiller's like, well, what's to stop someone from doing 4-minute abs? He's like, what? It's like, yeah, you can't do that. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna say I have the power. No, I'm gonna say it more. What if he's
dumb? But it shows a lack of respect because like there are rules to it. It's like and once you stop, if you're thinking like that, when you stop to say, well, when he holds his mighty sword aloft and says, I have the power, he gets all the power. Wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? I don't understand.
Like he only gets something. It's like, how much do you want? While it's like holding it up, he's like, give me 50. It's like, okay,
50 cc's of power.
Yeah, that's dumb. What'd you guys think of the theme song? Because that got beat up pretty bad.
Oh, I thought it was fucking awesome. I'm not the only one.
No. I listened to the theme song about 50 times.
Yeah.
I bought the soundtrack on iTunes.
Yeah.
I just bought it because I'm like, screw it. The song is much longer. Yeah, it's Dragon Ball. That's the Dragon Ball song, right? Yeah, Steve knows. He's watching Kai. That's the Dragon Soul. That Dragon Soul, right?
Yeah.
And okay, so that song's longer. It's 2 minutes and 54 seconds, and there's like some, I don't know if it's rap, hip hoppy style stuff in between.
Yeah,
but the part that they chose for the intro is perfect, and it's like we'll find. It's like we are defenders. They say defenders in it, which is great.
Yeah.
It's like we'll be remembered. We are the defenders. We fight for the win. We fight till the end. It's like this sounds like it's pretty pumped up to me. It's like it sounds like it's like we're gonna prove that that we're the best. We're gonna defend the realm. We're gonna fight to the end. It's like that sounds like He-Man to me.
Yeah. And I like that they did an old school like everyone's fighting and all that stuff. Intro because that doesn't happen that often anymore. But that's an 80s style intro where like everyone's fighting, everyone's showing off their powers and stuff like that. And He-Man does a thing in that intro that he doesn't do in the show where he throws his sword and it turns into a disc and everything. And things.
When is that gonna happen?
Awesome.
And oh, dude, when they made the Mirrorverse Panther, which was basically Panther, holy shit!
Magic is this? Yeah,
man, that Panther was the goddamn best, man. That thing was the damn. Battle Cat is the best damn thing ever in this.
He's
show.
Cool in this. He's his own character, so he's awesome.
Yeah, his own. Yeah.
And the talking's okay because they said it was a special. It's like we're a special ancient tiger tribe and all that. Yeah. It's like and they can talk. It's like nice, and he's just declawed. It's not that he's cowardly. He's declawed. So, but he's still brave. I like all this. I don't know. People who are getting angry at this, they have a right to get angry. And I know some people that don't like it, and that's fine. It's not He-Man. If you literally say, look, it's not He-Man, I'm done, that's fine. But then you have to say Revelations is not He-Man, I'm done.
Yeah.
2000X is not He-Man, I'm done. New Adventures of He-Man is not He-Man, I'm done. Right? Yeah. If you want to do that and say, listen, it is that original He-Man block, and that's effing all I want, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I know guys, hold on. I'll give me a second. I know guys who literally say OT trilogy. Like effing, and it's called Star Wars, and it's called The Empire Strikes Back, and it's called Return of the Jedi with Star Wars around the thing. Yeah. Like that is what it is. It is that trilogy, the theatrical original trilogy, unaltered. Everything else can take an F off. Not Droids the cartoon, not the Ewok Adventures and Caravan of Courage and all that. It's none of it. Not Star Wars special. It's those 3 movies. That's it. And to that person, I'm like, okay, dude, you got me. That is Star Wars. And if that is all there's ever going to be, fine. But you have to somehow get to a point where you're like, okay, if the old He-Man cartoon was released right now, would kids get into it now? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe yes, maybe no, probably no, because they're too used to Pixar and Power Rangers and DreamWorks.
Yeah.
There's too many things now that have changed. People are saying Big Hero 6. I didn't watch. I saw the movie Big Hero 6.
And they're like, this is like Big Hero 6. Like, okay, I
guess I don't know. But and so you have to now think into your mind, is this a Dukes of Hazzard? Are we in the Dukes of Hazzard territory? Are we in a Dukes of Hazzard had its time, it's finished, we're putting it off to the side?
Well,
or do you want it to survive with another generation in this new iteration of it?
Mm-hmm. Well, that was my point with 2000X. Like, I thought it was great for me when I was 25 and watching this for the first time. Like, oh, they took the old show and they grew it up. That's cool for me. But the thing was that Mattel wanted to market this to kids, and the thing is, He-Man was based on test marketing of the early 80s when Star Wars was big. And that kind of thing was huge, and it was like combining Conan, which was in the zeitgeist as well, with Star Wars and making its own thing. And that test marketing wouldn't work today for kids. You have to do something new. Like, this is sort of like, this feels like it was made for a new generation. And that's what I thought they should have done with He-Man. Like, you could do your 2000X thing, and then after that do a new iteration for the generations today. Like, it would have been more Harry Potterish or something like that back then.
Right.
But it's like this is more like this is derivative of a lot of things kids are used to, like the CGI movies of today, and like what's it called, Fortnite and all that bullshit.
Fortnite, right?
But yeah, so maybe it won't be as big as He-Man was when we were kids.
No.
But and plus toys, I don't know how big toys are really with kids anymore. So, but yeah, and the thing too, like, to your point, J-Man, about like people being pissed. I mean, like, I'm not, because I'm just used to this with Transformers and like everything like Cybertron and all that stuff, and Energon. It's like they as I said before, it's like it's the essence of it, but just done new, right? And that's what I'm not pissed off with this, because it is supposed to be a new thing, and the new thing is still good. It still stands for all the things that the old thing did, like the heroism, the friendship, the honor, and all that stuff, and the action too, and adventure as well. But like, so I'm not pissed. Like, I am pissed at Revelation, because it's supposed to be the He-Man that we know, and it's not.
It's not. And it sucks anyways.
And everything seems to be this modern, like, ripping things down to be cool. Like, isn't this smarter and more sophisticated because we ripped this down and we made fun of this thing and we call attention to this thing? It's like, no, all you're doing is just like making fun of it like a high school bully. It's like, this isn't clever, and it's not grown up, and it's not mature. It's just stupid, and it's that hot take bullshit that I hate. So yeah, I mean, like, Revelations can kiss my ass. This is way better, and this actually makes that Kevin Smith one look terrible, because it looks more competent.
That's what Double C was saying.
Yeah, it looks more competent, and it looks more effortless than the other one. Looks like effort, like, compared to this. It's like, oh, quick! It's like everything's a reach. It's like, oh, they're a cult now, and so stupid, right? This feels more like storytelling to me.
To me, without having watched the rest of it, the thing to remember too is that you can't dislike everything that's new. You just can't be pissed off at everything, because if you are going to be pissed off at everything, then my question to you would be, why do you continue to watch new things if you're not going to be open to it? If you're not going to at least leave yourself open to the idea you might like it, why do you watch anything? And that's not a slam in saying you're an idiot for watching new stuff because you're not going to like it, but it's a question that, like, you have your stuff you like from the 80s and 90s, just watch that all the time and revisit that. Why watch anything new? You're not going to like it. Like, that's the thing I keep thinking of with all these guys who are on and everything sucks. And it's like, okay, there's stuff that sucks and you got to say it sucks, but there's also going to be stuff that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Right. And equally, you should say it.
Yeah. And it's going to be different, and it's not going to be the stuff you grew up with, but okay. Like, stuff isn't supposed to remain stationary too. You are supposed to keep reinventing stuff, and you are supposed to keep making new things as well. Right. Like, that was the foundation of us. Like, we talk about the 80s and 90s and how great it was to grow up in that era, like with pop culture, all these great shows and movies. But that was because the foundations were laid before us,
Yeah.
right, with the 60s and the 70s and stuff like that. My problem nowadays is I keep asking, what are we leaving for the next generation in that sort of forum? What are we leaving for, the kids of today for next time, right? Like, if I was growing up now, my favorite stuff would be stuff that if I had a kid, he'd be pumped up for what I'm pumped up for,
Right.
Because that seems to be when we stopped, and that's the biggest grievance I have against Hollywood nowadays is you're not building anything for the next generation. You're rehashing a lot of stuff. If you're going to rehash it, reinvent it, make it something new so that kids today can appreciate it and maybe get into it. Right. But they don't do that. Like, to Sean's point, don't tear stuff down and be like all cool and ironic. Right. And like, oh, look at me. But you're not doing anyone any favors by doing that. You're just coming across as petty, and you're not building in the pop culture zeitgeist anything to build off of. At least with this new He-Man thing, there's something to build off, and there's a new audience to find. You're not going to find a new audience with Revelations. You're just going to piss off the old audience.
Exactly. That's exactly the right statement. Yeah. It's like, who is this for?
Yeah.
Revelations was supposed to be for Sean and I. When we watched it, guess what? It wasn't for Sean and I. It was bullshit. 2002 was for Sean and I. And guess what? It was for Sean and I. We liked it. Mm-hmm. Now, Mattel thought it was going to be way bigger because kids are all going to watch. It's like, no, it's a bit too sophisticated. It's a bit too murky. Yeah. It's not murky. You know what I'm saying?
It's very serious.
It didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to buy something, and I don't know if you own any of these, Steve, it's like, Steve, if you're going to buy a He-Man thing, just buy the 2000X series.
I own it.
That you own it. That's for you. Perfect. If you don't want to buy the old ones because you don't have a nostalgia for it, then don't buy those old ones because it's not. You're gonna watch it and I'll be like, this is just a kid's cartoon.
Mm.
So but yeah, Revelations. Who's going to buy that? Just the idiots who still think it's somewhat good. Who I'm arguing with, and they're like, well, it's whatever. We have to see it play out. That was the other thing. We have to see it play out. We have to see what play out. 11 minutes in, Sean texts me saying, yeah, this is cool. It's like 11 minutes, guys. We have to see this play out. I am so done with this argument of, oh, the next one's going to be better. The next one. I watched episode 1 of He-Man and this He-Man. And I was like, that was awesome. I'm like, I'm going to watch episode 2. Awesome. Right? It's like, I watched episode 1 of Revelations. I'm like, everyone dies. This sucks. And Teela's a bitch. Well, the next one will be better. They're going to unbitchify her. They're going to go back in time and have her not yell at Randor and yell at her father and throw down her. She just became, you would think now that Eternia, without its protector, is going to really need the Man-at-Arms, which she has now become. She has taken over as Man-at-Arms of Eternia.
Right.
You would think that Eternia is going to require a tough-as-nails Man-at-Arms to help fend off the evil forces of Skeletor. Now that He-Man is gone. No, she throws down her weapons like, F this.
Well, then you were never worthy enough to get it in the first place.
Right. So you're a trash character. And people are like, well, maybe you haven't given it a chance. It's like, isn't it a bit early? There's still 5 more episodes. Teela already
can't go back on that. Yeah.
You can't go back. In the first 10 minutes of Wonder Woman Part 1 with little girl, with Lily Aspel, the actress, she's running around. The first Wonder Woman that everyone likes, the first Wonder Woman. She's running around. I'm gonna save people. I'm the best. Yay! I'm like, oh yeah, Wonder Woman's the best. It's like immediately, I'm like, yeah, she's awesome, right? And it's like, how long does it take for you to think someone's the best? Like, I mean, I thought Indiana Jones was like my favorite character in the opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark. He went through that whole thing, and then I did this,
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God. Literally, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever made. And it's like, oh, I didn't see that one first. I saw Temple of Doom first. But just him doing the negotiations and all that, it's like, I was like, oh, this guy's so good. And he's like running around trying to get the antidote and all that. He's like, where's the diamond? Where's the antidote?
I'll go for a bit. So.
Yeah, okay, yeah. In the first minute, I was like, Indiana Jones is the best, right? How many episodes does it take, Steve, for you to think a character is the best? It should be immediately. Like, I don't know.
you know, the episode, like when I was watching this He-Man episode, about halfway through, I'm like, well, I'm going to watch episode 2 because this is interesting me. And this is how, to me, it's supposed to go, is I watch episode 1 and I'm excited and looking forward to episode 2. It shouldn't be like What If is, where it's like, it's pulling nails
Right.
at this point. It's pulling teeth, right? But like, that's how it's supposed to be. And I also agree that I don't like the next episode. First of all, you're taking chance on me even going to bother watching the next episode, which is something I don't have to do.
Yeah,
I don't have to do it with streaming services and all the shows coming out. Everyone says, have you seen this show yet? I'm like, no, there's not enough time in the day. I would love to watch more television, but I can't. I can watch what I can, and that's it. Right? But if so, you're taking a chance, even on a good show, that I'm going to have the time and the wherewithal to say, okay, let me go back and finish this. Right? I told you Dragon Ball Z Kai. I left that at the androids had just beaten the hell out of the heroes, and I've left it for this long. And I'm coming back now to finish, and I will finish it. But you're taking that chance. So if you want my attention and you want my money, you got to hit me right now. You got to hit me when my ass is in the seat. Every movie has 2 hours to hook me. If you're not hooked me by 2 hours, there's no guarantee I'm going for the next one. Case in point, Venom.
Yeah,
Venom didn't hook
we're not
me.
going to, so we're not going to go see Venom Part 2 or whatever. We'll wait on that one.
We'll wait on that one because you didn't get me with the first one. And like the second one's like, oh, it's 90 minutes and Andy Serkis did it and they got Carnage. Ooh. Yeah, it's also PG-13 and the trailer looks like ass. It literally looks stupid to me. So you're not going to get me. You're not going to get
the same movie.
It's the same movie.
I can't actually tell that it is Part 2. And my wife was so looking forward to Part 1. And I bought it. And then she's like, oh, we're going to watch Venom. I'm like, nah. And she's like, well, it's not that good. I'm like, no. And she's like, well, is it not good because of a comic thing or not good because of a generic thing? I said, I think it's not good because of both of those points. It's not the proper Venom, right? Because there's no Spider-Man. But I don't think the movie's that great, really. I think it's too jokey. I can't see what's going on. Riot is not interesting to me at all. The villain is really poor.
Yeah.
I can't stand what's her face, Blondie.
Yeah,
Michelle. Oh God, I could not stand her. Oh, I can't stand her. In that movie, and kind of in real life too. But I just can't stand her. So yeah, and she's like, oh, and then finally we stood in this room that has literally thousands of movies, and we just couldn't find something to watch. And I'm like, all right, what? I was like, you know what? Let's do Venom. She's like, yeah, all right, Venom. And she was bored. She's like, well, that wasn't very good. I'm like, oh, I told you. She didn't believe me because Venom looks so cool, and Tom Hardy's good.
Yeah.
On paper, it's like they're like, oh yeah, Venom looks awesome. He's got the mouth and all that, and Tom Hardy's a great actor. It's like this has to be good. Yeah. It's like a no-brainer, but it just doesn't do it for me. I mean,
my dad bugged me about that one. He's like, oh, you're getting Venom, right? Like I said, no. He's like, oh. He's like, because he now watches stuff when I get it. Right. But now I've got Netflix and Disney Plus, so I'm like,
he can watch it.
Right. If I don't want to watch
Venom on there?
No, not yet. No, Venom was on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like, oh, I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay. So he goes and he watches it off Netflix because he's not going to watch. I'm not getting it, and he's like, okay. So he got it. So he watched it. He's like, yeah, that wasn't very good, was it? I'm like, no, it's very unusual for me not to buy a comic book related thing. If I don't buy one, I really didn't like it.
And we're gonna do a stream. I've got Clobberin Times is gonna come on with us. It's gonna be the four of us, and we're gonna do something about fan loyalty. Yeah. And I've got the four of us. It's actually gonna be perfect because we're gonna have all the spectrums covered.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Sean is most extreme.
Yeah.
To Clobberin Times being the other extreme, where it's like he's like, this looks like crap, I'm done. Whereas you're like, oh, this looks like crap, maybe I'll check it out just in case.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, I'm gonna buy it even if it's crap.
Right.
But Sean will I'll read the High Republic comics. I read the first 3 issues. I thought, yeah, it's okay. And I just I wasn't interested. But Sean went and read all the novels.
Yeah.
Like, he read everything to make sure.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like that, right? Where
Yeah.
I'm like, I will give things more of a chance, and I'll probably buy them even if I don't like them for collecting purposes, but I haven't done it on everything. So we're going to discuss that, because some things, my fan loyalty beats my brain, but some things it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And it's very interesting why. Like, at some point, like, I think, like, it's like some, things have failed too much where it's like, I don't, like something like Star Wars, I'm probably going to just get anything that comes out.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas, Clobberin Times will be like, no, I'm just not getting that. Right. Like, he just doesn't care because he's lost. It's just like all hope has been lost. Hope is broken.
I feel like I get that with some people, and they're just like, I'm done. And I totally get what they're saying. To me, there's always a chance for another take, and there's always a chance. And the He-Man thing is perfect. I did not, first of all, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, I let you guys take the bullet on that one, because I was waiting for you to tell me if it was good before I checked.
Everyone was waiting for me on all He-Man stuff. Everyone waits for me to say my thing.
Yeah.
Literally, and our buddy is like, literally, I was waiting for J-Man's video, because I and this latest video that I just did, shit, that's got tons of views and like lots of comments. I'm surprised. I thought I would be like destroyed, man. I thought people were gonna be like, you're an idiot and all that. And as of yesterday or whenever I post that video, it was Clownfish and me. We were the only two people that reviewed it on YouTube. And there was a few other foreign language YouTubers. It was like Spanish YouTubers who had done, but Clownfish and I were the only two English channels that talked about this CGI cartoon or whatever. I came up like number 2. I was like, wow, I can't believe it. So it's now Clownfish has like 40,000 views. And I'm not quite there yet.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
But so, like, and the thing with He-Man Revelations was more so, I didn't have anything against the concept of He-Man Revelations when it came out, but Kevin Smith has gone downhill bad.
Yeah, he's bad.
He's now like, he's making Yoga Hosers, which literally looked like the most awful movie ever created. I know you couldn't even get through the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, which is unusual for you to turn off a movie. You almost never do that. Tusk, I heard, was like just so far out there that people
I saw it. It's just stupidness. Like,
it's stupid.
And they thought they were being funny the whole time. Like, yeah, this is so funny. We're turning him into like a walrus or something. I'm like, why is this happening? Like, it's too dumb to be scary. And it's just too weird to be serious. It's like you almost, like, if you really wanted to examine that as a real thing, you would have had to have had David Cronenberg do it, or somebody like who can really do like a weird, disturbing concept. Like, he kidnaps what's his face, Apple guy. I can't remember the guy. What's the actor's name?
Justin Long.
Justin Long. So he kidnaps Justin Long and transforms him into a human walrus.
Okay.
That's what it is. Did you know?
It just sounds like someone's like drug-addled, thoughts.
Like, if you're gonna do something, it's like you have, like, they try. I don't know if it was supposed to be like a big human centipede sort of like goofy thing, but like, it's not serious enough to be like disturbing. It's too stupid, and you're just like, this is just dumb. And that Yoga Hosers looked like, I didn't even bother watching because I knew I would never get through it.
I stopped after Quirks 2. Quirks 2 ended it for me. It did end it for me.
Yeah.
I was done. Like, Red State, I had mild interest in, but I just never bothered with it.
Yeah, I think I have it because I got it for $1.
That was the Blockbuster deals.
The Blockbuster deals or whatever.
But it was more so like, one of our mutual friends sent me the trailer for Nightmare Alley, which is the next Del Toro. And I said that, I haven't liked Del Toro's last 3 movies. I didn't like Pacific Rim. I did not like, Crimson Peak was all right. It was just like very
simple.
Yeah. And Shape of Water, I didn't like. But I've liked enough of his stuff and I
you'll still
the stuff
give it a
I like,
chance.
I really like. Like I really like the 2 Hellboy movies. Blade 2 is awesome. Pan's Labyrinth is awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Kronos or Devil's Backbone, but I own both of them.
I think they're awesome. Yeah, I haven't seen them either.
But I've heard nothing but good stuff about them. So I will continue to give him a chance. It's like James Wan. I will try and watch everything James Wan directs.
Yeah, so Malignant is the new one, but it looks like it seems kind of. I didn't watch all the reviews on Malignant, but I watched a little bit of Red Letter Media, Half in the Bag or whatever, and it looked like they're just like kind of going to make fun of it. So I thought, is this like a cheesy movie or is this like a serious movie or what? So I don't know. Maybe if it's a cheese movie, I'd be okay with that, but we'll have to see.
We'll see. But like, I try and watch it. And I haven't liked everything he did. I didn't care for Death Sentence, but I haven't seen Dead Silence. I haven't seen Conjuring stuff, but I do have the first 2.
I saw Conjuring Part 1. It's a movie. It's a ghost story. I don't know. I don't know. We watched Saw. My wife has never seen Saw, and she's not into horror movies, but I showed her Saw Part 1, and she really liked it.
Yeah.
Because there's no gore in it at all. And the Blu-ray set that gives you all of them is not the unrated one, so you don't see the foot getting cut off properly.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I have to keep all my DVDs because all my DVDs are unrated, and that Blu-ray pack is not unrated.
Oh, dry.
So yeah, I mean, the gore doesn't matter to me in Saw. Like I can have, I don't need the gore for it to be good because I like the story and the plot, like the intricate plotting and everything.
Yeah.
So it's not, but I got the unrated version. Plus my Saw Part 1 has like blood in the case and there's a little saw in it and you can and the saw moves around in it.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. I have the Blu-ray pack. I don't know if I bought a later one though, because it is supposed to have the unrated ones, but I don't know.
Is it all like whatever X number of movies in one slim case with Jigsaw's face on it?
No, it's something different.
You'll have to show it to me at some point and just so I can visually see it or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I think you bought yours before me. I think I bought a later edition because I remember you bought yours well before I did.
Yeah, because it was like $10 or something outrageously, and it's got nothing. It's just like all the movies. That's it.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
It's like the simplified Saw, just all the movies, and it's like 1 through 7, which really you don't need anything past that. Like Jigsaw and Spiral. I bought Spiral. I don't know if you got Spiral.
I did too.
Yeah. So it's like you don't really need those, but whatever. They're awesome. So let's just
But like those sort of things. It's the same thought process. If Kevin Smith is going to release something, I'm probably not going to watch it just on principle now because he's just proven to be too. Like I don't like his stuff anymore. I don't like his stuff. The first 4, like of the first 5 movies, I like 4 of the 5. I didn't like Clerks 1. I liked the other 4, but that's it. That's all I've ever liked. Jersey Girl was okay. Like it was his most, I guess, mature movie. Mm-hmm. It didn't even feel like a Kevin Smith movie, to be honest with you. Because there's but I didn't go out and buy it because I didn't like it that much. Where I was I want to revisit it. Like I don't care.
Yeah, I only own Dogma and Jay and Silent Bob, but I didn't even get those on Blu-ray because I think I own Mallrats as well. But I'm like, I'm not gonna get those on Blu-ray. They're fine on DVD. I can watch them like that. Like,
well, you can't even get Dogma on Blu-ray anyway. It's they just re-released Jane. I got Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back just because I had like the thick white one.
That's the one I've got. That thick one. Yeah.
I'm just like I don't.
Why is it so?
Why do I have the ultra special edition of this movie? Like seriously, I can just get the normal Blu-ray. Like I'm actually not getting features anymore a lot of the time because
you're never gonna watch them.
I'll never watch them. I don't care. Like I might watch the deleted scenes if I'm interested. I like rewatching the trailers, but that's it. Like I don't care about a lot of the special stuff now. I skip because I literally just don't care anymore. Like I saw Brewster's Millions the other day. That was nothing. That was just you go right into the movie. I'm like perfect. If I really care, I'll read the trivia off IMDb or something.
There's actually a much longer version of Uncle Buck, and I found this YouTube video that talks about it. And there's like the big 3-hour Uncle Buck version or something, and I'm like, oh my god, they need to release hashtag Uncle Buck.
Yeah, release the Uncle Buck cut.
Yeah, the butt cut or whatever.
I did watch all the features for Braveheart, but that was because they actually went into the history of the character. And I found that interesting.
Yeah,
so I did watch all those features just because they actually were of value. Usually it's not a value. It's like, here's what the costume designer did.
I think I need to get. I think Braveheart, man. I think I need to rebuy that movie because I don't think I have a good edition of that. The last Braveheart I had was VHS.
Oh gosh,
I've been waiting for me to want to watch it, and then I'll just buy the best edition that's out at the time I feel like watching it, because I don't think that's a movie that's going to go away.
Yeah.
Like, how you had to pre-order a bunch of other stuff or whatever. It's like, I didn't even know Black Widow came out on Blu-ray. I was like shocked when I saw that at Walmart. I thought, oh, what the hell? Because I know I got my 4-hour, Zach Zach cut, and then I didn't know Black Widow was coming out, so I was like, oh, what the heck? So I don't know, are they bringing out WandaVision and stuff, or is that gonna?
No, I think because Black Widow was both theater. I think anything that touches theater will get a DVD release.
Right.
I don't think anything. Like, I knew Black Widow was coming out. I check ahead of time now. That's why I know like the Mexico trilogy is coming out, so I'm going to get that on Blu-ray because I think that's Blu-ray.
So that's going to be El Mariachi, Desperado, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Yeah. I love Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I think that's like my favorite one.
It's like, you know what? All three of them. I was shocked how much I liked El Mariachi when I.
Oh, it's great.
This movie's awesome, man. What the hell?
Yeah, no, it's great. I had the VHS of that when that came out on VHS.
Yeah.
I can't hear you or see you, Sean. I'm just gonna keep.
I see Sean.
I see Sean. I spy with my little eye something in red.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. So Sean, you're gonna get the toys for He-Man, right? You're gonna get all the toys. Yeah, I'm gonna get them.
I was gonna make the comment too. That we grew up with a franchise that was drastically rebooted and we loved it. Do you know what that is?
Hold on.
Come on.
Well, G.I. Joe, I guess.
Yeah, G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I was listening to the G.I. Joe Peter Pan book and record sets from like the 60s and 70s. And like it's G.I. Joe the person, right? And he's like a kind of a super spy military man. And he goes to like Spy Island, or he goes and fights Soviets or something, and he's all joking and he's this big, like, the hero mold of the time. And they had G.I. Joe Packin' comics, and they also had a comic which was like done by some fly-by-night ass operation, but also the toys themselves had their own sort of continuity. It was always the same guy. There was an adventure team at one point, and it was huge. Yeah, and it's like the one with the eyes that go like this, and Eagle Eyes. That's what it's called.
Eyes, yeah.
And Kung Fu Grip and all that
Kung
stuff.
Fu Grip.
And it was huge. And that, like, the boomers never got pissed off at G.I. Joe, the real American hero, but we didn't really know about that. And we saw it like, this is awesome. Like, they got these vehicles, and like each guy has a different thing, and there's like a lot of appeal to that. And obviously G.I. Joe was modeled after Star Wars at the time, right? So there's like, a bad guy with a mask, and there's a bunch of different henchmen and stuff, and then there's like minions, which are the stormtroopers. But here is like the Vipers. And I don't begrudge like this show taking cues from what's going on now. Like, that's all these like adults who are watching this discount it by saying like, oh, it's like these CGI movies and it's like Fortnite. And it's like, yeah, and G.I. Joe is like fucking Star Wars. Like, they just took from what was popular, and He-Man too. And they took from what was popular at the time and they retooled it. It isn't exactly fucking Fortnite, and it's not exactly like Big Hero 6, like this He-Man show. But I don't see that as a bad thing. Because quite frankly, I feel a lot of people who are our age don't realize where the stuff we love came from. It's like, there was a Conan before He-Man.
Yeah,
right.
It's like they're all coming from something. So it's like G.I. Joe was super derivative, but we loved it, and it did its own stuff too.
Wait, when did Marvel get the rights to do Conan comics? That predates He-Man big time.
Yeah,
has to be 10 years.
Yeah, and He-Man was
He-Man.
Conan was huge from Marvel because like they had book
mega
and record sets
huge.
for that. They had like lots of merchandising. If they could do a cartoon, they would have, but they couldn't because
because Stan Lee. Because I know I was listening to Rob's podcast and he was talking about that. And he was like, Stan Lee was like, yes, fuck Conan. I don't want that property. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
And they literally bought it for budget. They're like, well, we can afford. It's like, let's make an offer on the Conan license and see what the REH estate says. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. They're like, really? It was like $30 or some outrageously low amount.
Yeah.
Like, I'll pay $30 a month for the rights to Conan. But like, and then Conan became like their number one guy, and then it was Team Conan, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so I know. No, but I'm gonna use this G.I. Joe thing. Anytime someone says anything bad about this cartoon, I'm gonna be like, oh, you must hate G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, for deviating from
that was my point, because I'm tired of these like, listen, I hate when adults piss all over kids. I do that anyways, but I hate when adults piss all over kids cartoons because they don't understand. It's like you have to analyze and understand where all this is coming. It's like, listen, you're all hypocrites because like everything that we liked as kids was done from a very cynical place where they were taking like trends at the time and making a new thing. And it's like and a lot like He-Man's totally that, right? Transformers, they struck lightning with that because it's like it was already a bunch of different toys in Japan, right? And so when they made it here, it's like, oh, robots and Transformers, like so cool, and of course GoBots came in and stuff. But like a lot of this stuff, people tend to, like, these adults tend to be like, well, they're trying to do this and that, and they're trying to like steal thunder from this other thing. Yeah, like every fucking cartoon and toy line you grew up with, asshole. It's like it didn't come from a fucking bubble, ass. Like it came from the trends at the time, And
people love Power Rangers, and it's literally stolen. It's not. It's not. Oh, it's sort of like it's G.I. Joe in name only, but it's different. From like 2 shows. It's like it's literally Super Sentai, and then literally they ran out of episodes by season 3 or whatever. Mighty Morphin ran out. They ran out of that super. They couldn't milk super because Super Sentai is like modern Power Rangers where it changes every time, right?
Yeah.
Now I will say this: I've watched the ones that I like, Beast Morphers. I watched Go Busters. And Go Anger is RPM. So I watched Sentai Engine Go Anger. It has nothing to do with RPM. Like I don't even know. Like I need to give credit to the people who come up with the stories because RPM is a post-apocalyptic future where there's only one city left on Earth, and RPM is about guys that or Go Anger is about guys that are like racing cars and they're drag racers and stuff. Like this has like nothing to do with the other one. So kudos to them.
They got clever. The original Power Rangers shows are the, like, if you watch it, like I have some of them because they released a whole bunch
Show
of
Factory.
And the Japanese versions are basically, I mean, the human stuff has different stories, but it's essentially the same kind of thing. Right. It's like, and there's not a lot of like cleverness to it, right? The old Power Rangers shows weren't that clever anyways, but like
oh god no.
But at one point they did that Alien Ranger thing, and they had different Zords because I guess they to your point, they ran out of episodes, and so like let's pilfer from these other episodes, and to explain away the Zords will say like these other aliens came. And we'll use that.
Alien Ranger. It was the Alien Rangers or whatever it was.
Yeah,
right? It was that weird season, which like nobody even like. That's like
it's like a filler weird season.
Yeah. So that's when Saban was like, well, why don't we just do what they do in Japan and we can just take. I got the rights to all of the engine Super Sentai. Just because they call it Engine Sentai.
Well, they did like Masked Rider and stuff, and they did
Saban was
VR Troopers. Yeah, Saban was porting over everything. And it's like they even had I think it was Ultraman Tiga was the one that we got here.
Yeah.
But it was just called Ultraman. I remember the theme song Ultraman, and it's like and these kids are like saluting Ultraman. And
man, like,
but yeah, like they put it everything. They tried everything, like to their credit.
Should if someone because I like Power Rangers, I just bought I buy them. So if someone likes Power Rangers now, should we beat them up and be like, well, you're a piece of trash because it's just stolen from Super Sentai. So you're a piece of trash. It's like it's not just kind of like Super Sentai; it is Super Sentai.
Yeah.
So it's not like this new He-Man is kind of like Big Hero 6. Okay, yeah, but Power Rangers is Super Sentai, not kind of like it. Well, it's actual props. They have the props from that thing.
And this was Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad or whatever.
Yeah, that's Gridman or whatever.
Yeah. But that's what. That's what it was here. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, I know what it is. I liked it. And damn, I can't remember you could sing the song.
It's 4 S's.
Yeah, it was like and like I like how like the song is always the title, so you'll never forget. What it is. Like they still do it with Ninja Steel and Power Rangers, Beast Morphers.
I loved Big Bad Beetleborgs only because of those like monsters, and that's the thing. Those monsters are not in the Japanese thing, but they're like, let's have all the Universal monsters in it.
Big Bad
have it
Beetleborgs.
Looks like Jay Leno. It's like okay, sure.
Yeah. I thought that too. I thought
he had like the thing in it.
I'll remove it.
Yeah.
I thought that too. I was like, it looked like Jay Leno. He had the chin and everything. It was like a brilliant Jay Leno or whatever. But I liked, VR Troopers and what was the other one?
There was a weird one. I can't remember the name of it, but it had these bodybuilders as the guys what that they turn into.
Oh my god!
Do you remember that? No, fuck! What was it called? It was a low budget ass one.
Let's see. If
man.
I guess like American Sentai shows. Let's see if there's like a. Sport Ranger? What the hell?
No, that's
Kamen Rider.
God.
Night Flight. Oh, never heard of that one. Yeah, Big Bad Beetleborgs. Yeah. Night Flight. What the hell is this one?
Night Flight.
I've never seen. Oh no, this isn't it. Oh my god, I've never seen this.
American Sentai shows.
I just did 15 greatest Power Ranger
I'm on that too. So Sport Ranger
Squadron.
These are all Japanese though. I don't care.
Oh, these look wicked though. Sentai Aki
Vampires. I remember that thing.
That's freaking awesome, man.
Ultraman Tiga, yeah. Lost Luchadores. I told you about that. Oh my Lost God. Luchadores was the Luchador one.
Yeah, this is awesome. Mummy's
alive. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Oh my God, this is the greatest show ever.
It's like when they're big, they're not mechs. They're just luchadors, but like bodybuilders.
Oh my God, that's awesome. They just become big bodybuilder guys.
And I remember when the females...
There's Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's is that Grid? That's Gridman.
That's Gridman, yeah.
Well, we own Gridman now.
Yeah, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, yeah. Tattooed teenage alien.
Mystic Knights, I know. Baby Beetleborgs, yeah, we know that one. VR Troopers, yeah. Hey, that's the guy I like, the silver guy.
Yeah.
He's in Beast Morphers. Oh, what's the guy's name? Beast Morphers is a continuation of RPM because Dr. K is in it. Same character from RPM.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the silver guy's name? He's like a. Oh my God. Oh. What the hell's his name? He's awesome.
From which one?
He was in Power Rangers. He's in his own show. But he was in Power Rangers as well. He was in one of the Power Rangers just now.
Yeah.
This has gone way far off topic of He-Man, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Silver guy Sentai. Let's see.
Do you remember? You know who Vernon Wells is, right?
Look him up.
Vernon Wells was Bennett in Commando.
Yes.
And he was also
I know.
Yeah, he was the guy with the mohawk in Road Warrior.
Yeah, in Road Warrior.
Like he had the pink mohawk.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's the main bad guy in Time Force. My favorite
God.
Power Ranger.
Oh yeah, Time Force. Yeah, no, I watched some. Yeah, and I
whatever,
remember that was him. Yeah, I remember that was him. Yeah, he came up right now. Yeah, he's Wes or whatever. Where is that silver guy? Oh, yeah. Some of the Beast Morpher guys look wicked, but where is that guy? He's like a space cop or something. Not that Juspin, whatever that
yeah, I was gonna say the Juspian guy because
not Juspian, no. I'm gonna say
because there's a silver robot in that. That shows.
That's him. Space Sheriff Gavin.
Space Sheriff
Gavin. Gavan.
Yeah, okay. I've heard of that.
Yeah. Oh man, he's the damn best.
Space Sheriff Gavin. Yeah, they use that in what?
He's in tons of shit. He pops up everywhere.
Yeah, no, he's in Juspian. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he probably is in Juspian. But he pops up everywhere. So he popped up in Thingy the other. He just popped up in.
Oh, it's not quite this guy.
But... No, yeah, it's not him. No, it's not him. But yeah, he popped up in Beast Morphers. I was like, holy shit!
Like, so J-Man, just to finish, this is my Saw. You can.
That is the one I have.
It says all unrated versions on it, right here.
I know, I've got it too. It's in the other room, but that's the one I have. But it wasn't unrated.
Yeah, you say all unrated versions.
It says that, but it ain't. I watched Saw 1. That's the exact same one I have.
Oh gosh.
Unless mine doesn't say unrated versions. I don't know why they would do 2 exact same covers and say one unrated and one not. But it wasn't unrated because I've seen unrated Saw and it ain't the one I watched. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna check that out. Saw Collection Blu-ray. It's the Blu-ray, right?
Yeah.
Yep, this is the one. Amazon choice. Yeah, it says you last purchased this on August 26th. Includes all 7 unrated films. Well, that's a stinking lie, I think. That's a stinking lie. I watched that one yesterday. I'm like, I remember that foot coming off a lot better than what we saw. But maybe I could be wrong. Maybe my mind, maybe it's a psycho thing and my mind filled it in more than
Mandela effect?
The Mandela effect, yeah.
Mandela effect, yeah. Well, no, I was gonna say psycho because the people were like literally saying, I literally saw the knife go in. No, that doesn't.
Oh, it's in your mind, man. Yeah, it's like play it again, Sam. Like that never.
Right.
Yeah, that never happened.
One is never in that.
Yeah, they just say play it. Or play it, Sam, or play it, or Sam, play it, or play it.
You play it for her, play it for me.
Play it for me, yeah.
The worst one was Prometheus for me. I swore Michael Fassbender did the run in this spot like, what's his name? Did Ian Holm? I swore that happened. I swore remembering seeing him do that because I remember thinking, oh, that's really neat. He did that little run in place like Ian Holm does at the beginning of Alien. Never happened. Never happened.
Yeah, he plays. Does he play ball or something? He does something.
He does something, but he didn't do the run in spot. Like, I guess my mind was thinking it'd be cool if he did that, and then it tricked itself into thinking he did do it. It never happened.
Remember I said in iRobot that big thing becomes a robot and attacks people?
Yeah.
I tried to fake up my own Mandela effect. I tried to fake one up. And I remember
we're gonna say that. It's like, no, I'm not gonna say it.
I was trying to get Sean to like, let's just tell people that happens because like I want that to be, and then it's like, wait, that doesn't happen. It's like I know. It's just like, but I want people to think that it happened.
The worst was the rumor about Dr. Octopus's arms having different personalities.
That was a friend of ours. Yeah.
No, but no. Okay,
it's from the book, right?
It's from the book. Yes.
Yeah.
That happened.
So what happened was someone told this person that, and then but it's from the book.
So whenever they do these things, they always do like novelizations
Yeah.
and things like that. And that actually was supposed to be a thing. And I think it's in the novelization of it or something.
It might be in an early draft of the script, and then they based on that. It's like it's like comic adaptations, especially in the 80s.
Oh yeah,
you're always based on like an early draft of the script, and so you saw all this like crazy shit. It's like, what the hell? This didn't happen in a freaking. It's like all the cut stuff from Superman 4, is in the comic. It's like even like him flying with the kid or whatever, and the kid's like, "There's no borders" or whatever, and can somehow breathe in space. But but it's funny. Now my problem with Temple of Doom. Same problem most brown people have is the dinner scene, right? But it's funny because in the movie, Indiana Jones and that British guy just take it for granted that they're eating all this stuff. It's like they know what they're eating, and it's like it's all weird shit. But they're like, oh yeah, Indian food or whatever. And no one really thinks it's weird, right?
Yeah.
In the read along and in the comic adaptation. He makes the same observation. He's like, "Oh, that's weird. They're vegetarians. Why would they be eating this stuff?" That's his only observation. But I'm thinking that's somehow in like an early draft. I don't even know if he would be like talking to himself or something.
Right. But that's the cult eating it, though. Like I thought that was supposed to be a clue that these guys were bad or whatever.
Yeah,
like
he thinks it's unusual because they're usually vegetarians. So why would they be eating snakes, right, and stuff like this? But it's supposed to be like cult. I don't know. That whole thing is meant to be funny and stuff, and it is funny in how fucking stupid it is. But like it's like they get the soup and the eyeballs come up and stuff.
I like all that, man.
Chilled monkey brains. It's like
yeah, I like that. And he's like, "You are not eating?" She's like, "I had bugs for breakfast." And it's like
they tried to do that in Star Trek 6, where like Uhura was trying to make small talk with the one Klingon. He's like, and there's like stuff coming up in his mouth.
That's Gak. He's eating Gak.
Yeah.
And it's like, so yeah, that's Gak. But like, no, I like that in Temple of Doom because I literally interpreted that later. Like as a kid, I just thought this is cool. But like later on, I thought, oh yeah, that's like the big evidence that there's like weirdness going on.
It's supposed to be, but it never made it into the movie. But
yeah, I mean, but even without them saying it, I just thought, oh well, that's obviously weird. They're not really eating that stuff, so this must be some big weird crazy cult who are all psychotic people or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like
I interpret that Indiana Jones doesn't make a comment because he's not saying anything because he's unconsciously. That's why he's starting to talk to everyone about what's going on.
Yeah, he does pokes little things, right? He does little poking things like, well, I heard.
Yeah.
And like, well, he goes, and then the guy's like, didn't they threaten to cut off your hands? He's like, well, no, it was my. He goes, same thing we have here. I like that guy a lot.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, you're right. It's like little things. He's like poking at it, right? He's like, "Oh, I heard there's some the cult's still around." Whoa,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my interpretation of that. I didn't think it was like all like weird or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
The worst was the novelization of Mortal Kombat. Like,
I know.
It made it way better than the movie. I was like, because I read it before the movie, and I was like, oh, where's the part where he makes amends with Goro and all that? What the fuck's going on here? Yeah.
Where's Baraka? Baraka's in the novelization.
And I've got there's two novels that had come out around that time, and I read both. They're both pretty good. Mm-hmm. But like the novelization of Conan the Destroyer, which I have and read, is really neat because Conan the Destroyer is not a Robert E. Howard story.
Yeah.
It's created just mainly by the thing. Hey, Belle.
Hey, Belle.
So the Conan, the Conan the Destroyer, it was just made up. So was Conan the Barbarian, but the story was made up. But they made a novelization of it. But it's got Ken Kelly's art. It doesn't have Frazetta art because it was not an original Robert E. Howard thing, but it's got Ken Kelly's art, so it's worth owning. Yeah. And I've got that book and I read it, and it's like, it is Conan the Destroyer, but not like, I can't remember. Like one of them is Tathamon. Like they use Tathamon, but then it changes it to Amon whatever, something like they didn't want to use. I guess it's like they didn't want to use it like it was supposed to be, and then it wasn't him or something. Like they didn't want to, because it's like you don't want to waste that character. That's one of the few Conan characters.
No, isn't so sorry the dude in that mirror area is Tathaman, no?
But it's not supposed to be.
But I thought it was in the movie.
It is in the movie, but it wasn't supposed to be
okay.
in the book, because in the book it's a different guy's name.
Oh, and then at the end they're like they bit the bullet and said this is Tathaman. But there's nothing iconic about that guy in the movie when you really think. It's like you forget.
No.
Yeah, like he should have a bigger presence than that. You know,
Arnold Schwarzenegger's Conan the Barbarian is my favorite movie of all time, and I also think it's the best movie ever made, and it's the first tattoo I ever got. So like I guess 2001: A Space Odyssey is pretty good, but like Conan the Barbarian is my favorite movie of all time. I've seen it like 1 million times. I love Conan the Destroyer too. I don't care if I know everyone says it sucks, but I like it. And as a kid, I liked it more because it was just more adventure-y. But yeah, Conan the Barbarian is my favorite movie. Is there a like? I don't know, like it's hard to say what the best movie ever made is, because that's getting really hard, right? Like, do you judge, like you could say every Buster Keaton movie is the best movie ever made because it advances film like techniques so much, and then Citizen Kane advances them even more, right? Like Buster Keaton.
Yeah, but what is
best? Yeah, well, I'll tell you what is best in life. No.
Yeah.
Conan the Barbarian is the only movie to answer what is best in life. They give you two options you could pick.
Like the technically best movie ever made, like then you're getting into like, you know, Citizen Kane territory and stuff.
Right.
But in terms of like, would you pop it in? You know, it's like you probably wouldn't, right? You know.
Well, I like Citizen Kane. I've got the best edition.
I've seen it to death, man. It's like I know every single freaking scene like backwards and forwards now.
I think Lawrence of Arabia is up there. James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones. I have got the toys of it. I have everything you could buy from that. I don't have the full swords, but one of my buddies has the full swords, Conan's Atlantean sword and his father's sword, which is the "Suffer no guilt, ye who wield this in the name of Crom," is what is inscribed on Conan's father's, who's not named in the movie, his sword. But I love Conan the Barbarian. It's the best. But yeah, Citizen Kane is awesome. I like Ben-Hur. I like Lawrence of Arabia. I like Seven Samurai a lot. If we started getting into like best films ever made, that's the kind of the territory that you're getting into.
Yeah, those are all like entertaining crowd pleasers, though. Like I'm trying to think of like something that's like really impenetrable or something.
I mean, I would say Lawrence of Arabia is pretty damn like. Yeah. Like you can't move on that movie, like that movie, like I don't know, like what, like Casablanca's in there, I guess, right?
Yeah. That's Casablanca awesome. is funny because when I see people react to like, you know, like these kids react to it on YouTube, they're taken aback by it because they're thinking, oh, some stupid black and white like 90-minute thing. And then they're stunned by the story, like, and all the twists and everything. And then they're into like the relationships and stuff and the friendships and all that that are forged. And it's like, oh, that guy helped out the guy, oh, like that. And it's this old movie from like the 30s, right? You know, so like that's probably one of the best movies probably ever made.
Yeah.
It still surprises to this day. So
it's not even my favorite Bogart. That would probably be Treasure of Sierra Madre.
Yeah,
that's I think everyone's favorite.
Genius.
Now,
yeah, that's a good movie. What about Maltese Falcon?
Maltese Falcon is up there.
I like a lot of his movies, though, even ones where he's not maybe the star of it.
Yeah.
Actually, Steve, that one you showed me,
Dr. Clitterhouse.
Dr. Clitter. Oh my God, that was the damn best. No, that was awesome. I like. There's not been one black and white movie that I have seen that I have not liked, which is like. Because the thing is that even the ones that maybe are slow or aren't as interesting are still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. There's not a lot of shitty. I'm sure there was shit movies, but any of the classic ones with the big actors that you know the name of, there's really not any shit ones. You know, like Edward G. Robinson not maybe like in the big, you know, pantheon of guys, but like the guy's a solid actor and every movie he's in was pretty cool. Right, so it's very difficult to find like a shit kind of Bogart movie or Spencer Tracy or
Yeah.
Carrie. Like I just watched Operation Petticoat
Yeah.
last weekend, the movie, not the TV show.
Yeah.
And that's Cary Grant and Tony Curtis. And that was Cary Grant's biggest moneymaker, which I did not know.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that was like, you know, like everyone loved that movie, and it's fun, and it's a simple, fun movie. Again, it didn't destroy it. I wasn't like, okay, you know, Lawrence of Arabia, your time is over. Now it's this movie. But it was fun. You watch it, like, that was very interesting. And we literally picked it for that reason. I'd never seen it. My wife had never seen it. We wanted to see it. We like Cary Grant. We like Tony Curtis. We're like, okay. I literally went on and I just typed Cary Grant, and then I'm like, let's see what comes up. And it's like, oh yeah, Petticoat, let's get it. And we watch it. We're like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
nice.
That's the thing. They're all really good.
Yeah. I would add 2 more movies to the list. Psycho.
Yeah. Psycho's awesome.
We're talking about the best combination of like score, story, acting, location, the techniques with the camera that he did to convince people that the knife went in when it didn't.
Right.
It's genius. 12 Angry Men is the other one.
That's in my top 10 favorite movies. That's my favorite black and white movie.
Probably the best slow burn story ever created. Just the very natural way that everyone becomes convinced. It's not a big revelation and everyone's convinced. Everyone needs to be convinced, and the way they're convinced is so believable and perfect. And I remember watching it for the first time. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, if he can get E.G. Marshall, it's over. Because E.G. Marshall was the one guy who was solid logic. I'm like, if you can get that guy, it's over, Johnny.
I only know the woman's eyesight is in question now.
Right.
You can't send a boy off to die on evidence like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
did you notice she had the things? No, what are you talking about? I noticed
them. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it goes strange, but I didn't think about it till now. It's like nobody wears eyeglasses to bed. Oh, so good. I know. I love that movie. I just watched. I can share this with you guys. If you go on YouTube and do 12 Angry Men Theater, there's one that these guys did. It's a theater play, so someone just filmed it. The whole thing.
Oh, that's nice.
And they changed the dialogue a little bit because I don't know if the movie changed it. I never read the play, but I know the movie like pretty much off by heart. So I could tell right away that things are a little, they changed things around here and there. But I love 12 Angry Men. Inherit the Wind. That's one of yours, Steve's. That's
my all-time favorite. Like,
yeah,
I watched that not long ago, and again, I can't get over that movie. Like, he wants to be given the same rights as a sponge. He wants to think. Like,
does a sponge think?
Yeah.
If God wants it to, it does.
Does.
That's awesome. But my favorite character in that is Frederick Marsh.
Oh yeah.
Because first time around, I was like, all right, well, Spencer Tracy's the best, and Gene Kelly's great, but it's very easy to not like that character. And then I watched it a second time, and I was like, oh man, I just like him so much because, the townspeople were dicks in that movie, but like he really believed in what he was doing, and he fought for it, and he fought against everyone who was making fun of it, and he's even fighting against the audience because the audience now is way on Spencer Tracy's side, way more, right? So he's fighting an audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember my wife, when we first watched it, obviously everyone loves Spencer Tracy, but then the second time she felt so much. She's like, oh my God, no. And it's because he just fought, he wouldn't give up. Like he really believed. And then one of the best scenes is where they're sitting down and he's like, this is a simple village. They have their religion. Why do you want to take it away?
Yeah,
and it's actually a great point. It's like, why do you want to take it away? Like, what is it going to benefit if you remove this? And he's like, you know what? There's the horse, and I wanted that horse, but it was nothing. It was bullshit, right? Like, the shiny horse that was so great, and it just fucking crumbles on me. And it's like, there's just truth, and that's what we have to go to. It was awesome. That's an awesome movie.
Well, it's even like, again, like you can notice that when they're on the rocking chairs, they're never in sync.
Yeah, like shit like that.
They're never
Yeah,
in
yeah,
sync,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
they're never in agreement. And there's ways like you moved away because you stood still. March's chair stops moving at that point, and his chair keeps going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so just well made.
Yeah,
I love
awesome.
the Gene Kelly character to Hornbeck because I love the thing at the end where he's like, "You're a ghost. You're just pointing an empty sleeve at people and he's like, what do you need? Everyone needs something. He's like, you don't need a thing.
Yeah.
He's like, when you died, it will just be the priest there. You won't even have anyone to pull the ground over your head. And he's like, you'll be there, Henry. You're always there.
Yeah, you'll be there. Yep. Yeah. That's right. I
mean, that stuff is so awesome.
That was awesome. I know. That was awesome.
Another great movie is Judgment at Nuremberg.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like, you're sitting there and you're like, I hate the not. Oh shit! Like, I hate the Nazis, and you're like, but even the prosecutor can't look at the film. Even he's like, don't. Why are you putting this on? Because this is an emotional. You're making this an emotional trial. It's got to be a factual trial.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so awesome, man.
And Judy, my girl Judy,
is awesome in it.
You know, that
but even
awesome.
Montgomery Clift.
Yeah.
He's great as that juror who's like, and it's like he's very like shaky on everything. Like, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, those are all great. I know there's so many great ones. It's hard. Yeah, I mean, you start getting into, you just got to pick your favorite movie and just be like, that's my. Yeah. And for me to have like Conan and 12 Angry Men in the same list,
that's awesome.
might seem very weird to people, but I also have Flash Gordon in there.
Yeah.
And I also have Superman and I have Empire Strikes Back. If you're just picking one of them, otherwise I'd just say all three.
Yeah.
And I would say all the Supermans, all fucking 4 Supermans, baby, in one spot. And escape and the escape. they all form.
Well, mine's been the same for a long time. It's Inherit the Wind's #1.
Yeah.
And then it's, again, if I can only pick one, it's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's a fun movie.
Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
Batman 89. Halloween.
Yeah.
Vertigo.
Yeah.
Silverado.
Yeah.
And Singing in the Rain.
Now, is Usual Suspects the newest movie of your in that list?
Yeah.
I think. What is my newest movie? Wow, it's terrible. It's like it can't be like it's like fucking Escape from New York or something. That means not since Escape from New York has a movie been deemed worthy enough. I like Superman 1. My favorite movie is Conan the Barbarian. I like 2001: A Space Odyssey. So Conan is 80s. 2001 is tail end of the 60s, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or mid 60s or whatever. I like Empire. That's 80s.
80s.
That's 1980.
Yes, we're in 1980.
I like after that it starts getting tough, but Superman. Okay, so did I say Superman already? Yeah, 2001 Superman thing. I like Planet of the Apes Part 1 or
that's
all
68.
of them. Yeah, that's 60. Wow, that's your like 5. and then I've got yeah, I do all 5 and just move that in. New York, Mad Max, Army of Darkness is the newest movie, 1993, I think.
Right.
Flash Gordon and 12 Angry Men. So the newest movie in my top 10 is from 1993, and that's Army of Darkness. And if Army of Darkness isn't in your top 10 is sorely lacking.
Well, Usual Suspects is 95, so I'm just barely newer.
But Army of Darkness might be the greatest film ever made. It needs to be preserved.
I know.
It's like it needs to go into that. What do they do though? Where they preserve those movies in the archives? They do the archiving of those. They need to archive Army of Darkness. There is no movie that is more enjoyable than Army of Darkness ever. I got it. I know your damn words. Now you got this straight, the both of you. He makes this big speech and he instantaneously forgets. It just makes it better because he was so angry that they even thought that he might forget that he's yelling at them. And then he forgets. And it's like, you're a piece of crap. It's like you yelled at those old guys. And you forgot. And then trying to fake a spell is the most genius thing I've ever heard of in my life. It's not. It doesn't work that way. He's trying, and he literally says, "I've said it." Like who are you talking to? It's a spell. And then I didn't say every syllable is really the. Well, I didn't say, and he's like angry about it. Like I didn't say every syllable. Like what? It's like, well, no, that is how spells work.
I mean, Army of Darkness is awesome, but like Evil Dead 2 as well. Like
it's funny too.
Him being able to carry that movie for 40 minutes by himself.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough, man. And the way he did, like just the number of things they had to come up with, like when the stuffed head starts laughing and stuff.
What are you laughing at? Oh my god, yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah, the Evil Dead trilogy is amazing. I would say all three. I would put all the Supermans as one, all the the real Planet of the Apes movies as one. Superman, Star Wars, the real Star Wars movies. Like I would put both Conans
as movies
as one
a thing in your
my top 10, right? So for solo movies, it's really just like 12 Angry Men and Flash Gordon, because Mad Max is all of them. I would just put them all in there. The real Mad Max. I like Fury Road. I got to watch Fury Road again. I know some people have gone back and said it wasn't as good on their second or third.
It's because
viewings.
It's not Mad Max's movie. That's
that is the problem. But like as a movie, it's freaking
still cool. Yeah. I still think I know. Yeah, people really.
So do you think that? So what's the best car chase in those Mad Max movies? Like everyone says, Road Warrior. Right?
Oh, for sure, man.
But other people say that like Fury Road tops it.
No, you know why? Because people are getting their asses handed to them in that friggin'
Road Warrior.
Road Warrior was real.
Yeah,
I know that Fury Road has a lot of great practical stunt works and all that, but there's going to be some fudgery, right?
Yeah.
Like there's guys getting their friggin' faces smashed in that goddamn Road Warrior. I saw Road Warrior and New York and Escape from New York. I call it New York. I saw those two movies in the same day. And I'm like, this is the greatest day ever in the history of the world. I'm like, there's never been a better day than that day. Ever. Like Indiana Jones, I wanted to be Indiana Jones. I want to be an archaeologist. Those movies, Alien, like Karate Kid, RoboCop, these kind of movies, Godzilla, all the Godzilla movies, Back to the Future, that's going into the next 10. So if I go into my next 10, that's when you get Alien, Temple, like all the two Indiana, no, not all Indiana Jones, the two of them only. Alien Part 1 only. The Warriors, right? That's when you're getting into these movies, right? Probably Terminator, like like RoboCop or something. Like those kinds of movies are in my next 10. But like Road Warrior, man, I don't know. Like that movie is just so damn awesome. He's on his own. That was really the only Mad Max. Mad Max 1 is pretty good, but Road Warrior is awesome. And I really like Thunderdome. I know people are kind of on that one, but I really like Thunderdome. And yeah, it not being about Max in the fourth movie is definitely problematic.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie on its own is pretty damn cool. Oh, at Audio Adventures. Oh, I saw that, Sean.
Yeah. It's like 35 minutes. I thought it was going to be like 10 minutes, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Batman, Audio Adventures, HBO. It's the HBO
thing. Max, yeah.
HBO Max, Batman, Audio Adventures. I am effing all over that.
He never got a radio show. So he got that one special, but that was it.
I've got and Batman and Robin did an audio adventure too, which is actually has 3D effects, 3D sound effects.
Yeah, but that's new, right? Like that seems like it's in the mold of the old radio shows and stuff.
You're right, yeah. I'm like the radio show master. I love radio shows.
When you see a radio show, you see
this effing face. Well, I did we're the stars of a radio show that I did, right?
Yeah.
I love radio shows. I've listened to all of Blue Beetle twice. I've heard all of them twice. I love Blue Beetle. The Blue Beetle.
You know what's so funny is the Archie radio show.
Never heard
he's
that
fighting
one.
Nazis and shit.
Oh my god, that sounds great.
Nazis invade like Riverdale. He's like, I think our neighbors are Nazi. You know?
Wow. No, I like the Blue Beetle, the Shadow, like the generic one, Superman, right? Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, Road Warrior, Fury Road. We'll have to do a thing on Mad Max, maybe all four, and talk about them all. I know, yeah, Fury Road has gotten a lot of hate recently. I think because it's like, oh, it's like the big female power thing.
It was the big woke movie,
The
and,
big
and
woke
yeah,
one.
it was, but
I don't know, guys.
I didn't catch it when I saw it though. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
When I watched it, I was like, holy crap, this thing is all action. It is crazy. It is balls to the wall. It's I agree that it's not Max's movie. I am very much in agreement that it is as much Furiosa's as it is Max. And if people want to get pissed off over that,
yep,
I don't have an argument.
Right.
I don't have an argument. But like as a movie, it's awesome. I was going to say for car stuff, the first one has some good stuff at the beginning.
Yep.
That entire car chase, and at the end, like he gets destroyed. The main villain, he gets absolutely crushed. So I think that's one of the hallmarks of Mad Max is there's always got to be like
car action. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it being about Furiosa, it's a thing. It's but I didn't see it as woke in the sense that like it didn't feel like to me that always means like swapping out things or gender, like she wasn't a male character that they changed to a female, like she was just her own character.
No, but she overshadows Mad Max in his own movie.
Yeah, but I didn't think that she did.
I didn't find she did either.
I thought she was just there, like, but I mean I have to watch it again. I did see it twice. I only saw it twice. Once in the theater, once at home.
Yeah, you can see it as a Mad Max passes in and out of this situation like he kind of did in the other one.
Yeah.
So yeah,
like part 3.
Way, right? Yeah.
I agree to that, but I don't agree it's woke because to me, woke would be if they clearly said Furiosa is better than Max, and they don't say that in the film. It's very much like to me, it's just George Miller created another great character, and she happens to be in this movie with Mad Max. Now, you can argue if it's a Furiosa movie that Mad Max is in, or you could argue it's a Mad Max movie that Furiosa's in a lot. Like you can go either way, and I would accept both arguments. But I don't think it's woke, man. I don't think it's woke at all. I think Mad Max still does some crazy shit in the movie, and Furiosa does some crazy shit. I just look at it as he's sharing it more so than being the sole awesome thing in it. Which if you say that's not Mad Max, I'm not arguing that because the other 3 movies are just mostly Max. So
I agree with you, Steve. I think that it's a movie where he made Furiosa a wicked character.
Yeah.
And you know what? And we complain a lot about saying, well, you know, why don't you just make a new character and make them good? It's like, well, that's what they did.
Yeah.
And now you're saying, well, right? It's like, well, no, it should just be about Max. It's like, I know. But like we have 3 movies. Well, even part 3 is not about Max really either, though. Like Thunderdome is not about Max either. It's not, and it's not even his story in Road Warrior, because in Road Warrior he doesn't give a shit. He only intervenes in the end because he got beat up by friggin' Humongous, and he's like, "F this, I'll drive that tanker. I'll drive that," and I'll drive that tanker, and it's like, all right, fine. It's like, so again, Mad Max is not a heroic type of figure who's going around and like saving the world or whatever. He just happens to be there and wants to get out of. He's a drifter. He just wants to get out of here. Now she has a purpose. So if you're going to go by the plot favors her, yeah, but it is her story. But Mad Max was a drifter in part 3. He was a drifter in part 2. The first one's the only one that's about his life and his wife and his kids and all, his kid or whatever. After that, he's just a drifter.
I have to watch 4 again to see, like, he just wants food and water, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
Well, he gets taken right at the beginning, right? He's taken right at the beginning, and he has to escape. And he's hooked up to that car that Nicholas Hoult is driving.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and he's trying to, and he gets out because of that huge dust storm and stuff, and he manages to get out. Like he gets the thing out of his face and whatnot. I mean, it's a really beautifully shot film, tons of action, strong characters. This is a movie we should probably celebrate, but of course nowadays people have to tear everything down because that's just what they do. But I disagree with that. I think Thunderdome, he's Peter Pan. He's got the Lost Boys, basically. Like, literally, he just comes across and like, I'll take care of you. And I'm like, what's going on? But, like, all 4 Mad Max movies have their own value, I would say. And all 4 of them are awesome in their own way. If you want to nitpick and say, well, you know, Furiosa overshadows Max in 4, fine. Like, I just celebrate the fact that she's an awesome character that stands on her own. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. And if something is crap, I'll tell you it's crap. My God, we get complaints saying, "Oh, Sean complains about everything or whatever." It's like,
Yeah,
trust me, we will complain. It's like, for further example, see every live stream that has to do with He-Man Revelations, What If, Black Widow. It's like trust me, if we think it's woke trash or something, we're gonna destroy. We will absolutely destroy this thing. It's like I didn't get that vibe from. I just thought Furiosa was pretty badass. It's like, is she more badass than Max? I don't know.
It's badass. When I thought back to it, like, I know what people are saying, and like,
I get it. No, I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's true that when you look at the other ones, his whole thing is that he drifts in and out of these situations, right? And it's just you're just following him along, right?
Yeah. He's gonna murder Blaster.
Yeah.
Right? She are we forgetting what's going on in Thunderdome? She contracts Max to murder Blaster.
Yeah.
And he only does them because he sees he's mentally challenged. He's got like Down syndrome or something.
Yeah.
He's a special needs person.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, he would have smashed that guy in the face, right?
Yeah.
He cheats and uses the whistle, right? You're supposed to only use the things in the dome.
Mm-hmm.
He cheats and uses the whistle, and he's going to kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, Max is the big hero and all that. Well, he's not. He survives. He gets by day, and then it doesn't even become his movie. Then it's the kids' movies, and I remember people being pissed off at that too, saying, "Oh, it's all about these kids now." It's like, I know, because it's never about Max. Max died in Mad Max Part 1.
Yeah.
That's the point of it. And what was left, they say it in Part 2. It should have been called Mad Max 2. It is called Mad Max 2 in no. In
Australia.
Australia. Here it's Road Warrior because they didn't care
Warrior.
about Mad Max 1.
Yeah.
Now I don't mind if they call it Mad Max 2 the Road Warrior. That's cool. But anyways, it literally says, he's a shell of a man.
Mm-hmm.
He lost everything. He doesn't care. It's like, oh, we could really use someone like you to drive that tanker. Nah, just give me my gas. Like, this is the dialogue. He has like 4 lines in the whole movie. Right? He's like, and literally that guy dies in Road Warrior. He brings back the corpse and he's like, I had to deal with him. Well, he's not dead yet, but he's dying. He's like, I had to deal with him. He's like, well, your deal just died with him, buddy. Sorry. And then they're like, he's like, screw you guys. Then he leaves. Then Lord Humongous nails him because Lord Humongous thinks that, oh, he must know something. He's trying to get out. Then he comes back and goes, okay, I'll drive that tanker. He wasn't a big heroic guy in that either. No. And in Thunderdome, he beats up the kids. He's like, no, you're not going to Barter Town. And then a few of them scraggle on and he goes and gets them or whatever. Yeah. That's the only time he becomes a hero, where he literally does something for other than himself. He goes to get the kids. That's the only time he does something. And it's because it's kids, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Fury Road. I think it's cool. Yeah. Anyways. All right, guys, we're going to end it off there. We kind of, we went off topic, but that's how it goes. It is what it is. Well, we'll be live next week sometime, and we'll get back to more of our normal kind of rants about whatever current thing is. But we had to talk about He-Man because it's a big thing, and we have to get our thoughts across. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. See you later.